chest thumping, boom like a baseline pound. King Kong stepping, make the whole earth bow. Banana clip bars, peel the truth, spit it raw. Silverback stature, no cap in my jaw. Swinging through the jungle vines like a mic cord. Fists like anvils, leave the ground floored. Coconut crack, that's a hard head dude. Wisdom in my eyes, but the knuckles stay cruel. King of the jungle, the crown fits snug. Beat on my chest, watch the whole world shrug. From the treetops down to the mud, gorillas the name and I'm royal blood. Bamboo feast, teeth sharp as a blade. Roots run deep, can't chop this shade. Treehouse throne, I'm the jungle's mayor. Banish hyenas, they don't breathe my air. Rumble in the canopy, thunder in the sky. Alpha move silent, don't need no alibi. Chest like a drum, it command respect. Banana Republic and my squad's direct. Call it a safari, but I'm the guide. Jungle GPS, keep my fam supplied. Enemies try, but they slip and slide. Mighty gorilla with the earth as my pride.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Flippin Tables here on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Hey, listen, we got a great show lined up for you guys tonight, man. If you want to be here, a couple of things before we get started. If you want to be a part of the show, you can absolutely 100% do that. Go ahead and look in the chat, and you'll see pinned at the top the StreamYard link is there for you to join the show. This is a great conversation to have amongst women and men. If you want to be a part of the show, please pull up and let's have the conversation. Again, welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. This is Tuesday. This is Flippin Tables Podcast on Tuesday night. I am your host, BMU, and I am here to have this conversation. Now, if you come in, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, show your boy that you love me. If you want to do more, you can definitely look down at the bottom of the screen. You'll see at the bottom of the screen on the ticker, that's the Cash App. You can send a Cash App, buy your boy a nice cup of tea. All right, if you want to support me. Also, if you want to do a super chat, that is at the bottom, right there. You see the little dollar sign at the bottom of the chat. You can definitely do that as well. All right, I'm glad you guys are here. Now, listen, I have a problem. Okay, we're going to jump right into this thing, okay? I have a problem, all right? And tonight we're going to talk about it, okay? The problem is, I believe in the Black community, in Black media, in Black podcast, in Black everything, that male leadership is on life support. It's on hospice. You ask me why. I'm glad you asked. The reason that I believe that it's on hospice is because nobody's listening to Black men at all. Men have no authority, and when they push their authority or they stand up and be a man, in the time that we're living in right now, that's not sexy. It's not sexy to be a man. I know anybody may be watching right now. If you're a husband sitting at home with a gruesome and unloving wife, men who are dating, men who are about to get married to the devil, men who are in the community who get no appreciation for all that they do, just for all those guys. That want to be leaders. I believe that even in Jim Crow, we could go back as far as slavery. We're not going to go all the way back in slavery, but we'll tiptoe up to Jim Crow. Even in Jim Crow, marriage rates were higher than they are today. Men were listened to. Men were heard. Men were leaders. And it was nothing. Leadership for a man was not up for discussion. Men were men, and they were allowed to be men. I was watching the episode of Blackish one time, and on the episode, the grandmother was sitting at the table. Most of you may have seen the episode. She was sitting at the table, and she said, "Why aren't you fixing your husband's plate?" And then she went down and explained why it's important to fix your husband's plate. Why? To prepare food and to serve your husband. She said, because the world is so harsh on Black men, so bad on Black men, that when he comes home, he feels less than a man. And the only thing that she had that can make him feel better is to serve him like he was a king, to make him feel better as a man when the world has beat him to death. That's powerful, and I love it. If you're listening to this right now, um, I want you to understand that I've been watching podcasts. Hey, thank you for being here, Katie and Dre 331. You said hi and good night from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Hey, thank you for being here. What time is it in Brazil right now? I appreciate you being here. All right. Thank you for peeking in and getting back out. Get you some sleep. It must be late there. But again, I do feel like just men are just, it's just a bad thing. Men can't be leaders. Men can't get promotions and jobs like they used to. There's a certain amount of a certain amount of estrogen that needs to be presented in order for businesses to thrive. And I just think it's just a bad way. It's a bad thing that we're experiencing right now, that men cannot be men anymore. But I'm asking, how many men out there who are you? How many men out there are willing right now to give up everything, to give up all the things that they say you should do and just be you, just be a man? I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and this guy was on the podcast getting jumped, not only by women, but by some sissified black men too. Flamboyant black men too. Let me tell you what they said. Let me enlighten you. I would play the video, but it ain't loaded. There was a discussion about what women wear today. The world that we live in today, what do women wear? And is what women wear entitled? Is it something that entices men? Is it something that teases men the way women dress? Would you not believe that there were women and men, okay, get my Jamal Bryant voice here, women and men who said that men are out of line for feeling enticed or teased by women who dress a certain way. Now, it is the nature of a man. Hear me now, stay with me. It is the nature of a man to be attracted to a woman. And I'll be damned if in 2026, we're going to have grown sissified men who are raised by single mothers have platforms and push the narrative that men in their own nature shouldn't be attracted to women and how they dress. We could even go biblical here. How many men in the Bible were teased by women who wore certain satin, certain gowns, certain silk? How many women were teasing the men and tempting the men by what they had on? When I first seen my baby, I seen her. When I saw her, I said, she is beautiful. But when I saw her again, I said, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. That body was bodying. And so I don't understand how we can see a woman dressed in a certain way and not be enticed and or teased by what she wear. I know I'm talking. I know I'm preaching tonight. Anybody want to challenge this, they can come up. But this is what I'm talking about. The nature of a man is illegal now. A man can't look at a woman because, let's talk about it. How many women out here today, let's talk about this. How many women out here today are wearing their ass and their breastises and putting them on a proper stage for people to see? Are we going to be honest tonight? Are we going to be honest tonight that women do put on clothes to tease men? Whether a woman tells you the truth or not, she's definitely not going to tell you the truth completely. She's not going to tell you the truth completely. But women wear clothes for other women, and they also wear clothes to tease men. You think when a woman go put on a nice high skirt, can barely walk in heels, breast pushed all the way up like an elevator in New York, ass everywhere, and when she sit down, you can see just a glimpse of her drawers. You think that it's not teasing men? You don't think that's enticing men? You don't think so? You don't think so? Anybody want to come up, please? If you're just getting here right now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, share with 2 people you like, 1 person you don't. And if you want to come up and be on the panel, the link is at the top of the chat. If you do not see the link at the top of the chat, please let me know in the chat, and I will definitely repost the link for you to come up and have the conversation. So, all right. Yeah, I'm just my people are reaching out to me here. Okay, good. All right, so this is what I'm talking about, the emasculation of black men. You can't look at a woman no more. You can't be enticed by a woman no more. All of a sudden now women are so innocent. Okay? The women are so innocent that they don't entice men. Okay, y'all, so I'm tell y'all a secret. Men are not supposed to be in, because it is a man's nature to be enticed by a woman and to be attracted to a woman. But I want to say something. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Men do not supposed to be looking or be enticed or teased by what a woman has on. So if that's the case, I was talking to Baby today. Y'all probably glad she ain't on the show tonight because I had plans for her to be on here on audio. She ain't coming. But if she was here, you know what she would say? If that was the case, then why is there a dress code at work? Why is there dress codes in companies if women can't tease men with what they wear? Huh? If there's a dress code, then you know something up. At my job, a few times over the years, there have been women who come to work and got that ass out. There's a few times where HR had to come in and say, either go home and change clothes or go home for the day. So if men are not going to be enticed by or teased by what a woman wears, hear me now, stay with me now, then why is there dress codes? Can somebody put it in the chat? Can somebody answer my question in the chat, please? I see you guys coming in real quick right now. So go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me. Because we're going to cook real good tonight. If you want to come up, the link is at the top of the chat as you guys are coming in. I see you. So that's one thing. That's one thing that we're dealing with tonight. We're dealing with men, but you can't have the nature of a man anymore. You can't speak up as a man anymore. Let's move up. You can't speak up, but you think you could tell a woman, hey, that's inappropriate. You shouldn't wear that. You think you could tell a woman to do anything? You can tell a woman, I was speaking about this morning. You can tell a woman, baby, I love you. I love your natural hair. I love your eyes. I love your lashes that God gave you. I love your eyebrows that God gave you. I love your breast. I love your butt. I love everything about you, baby girl. And you'll still come out of the room dressed waiting on your woman, and she'll still come out with eyelashes longer than a turn row in the South of picking cotton. She'll still come out with makeup, 8 pounds of makeup on her face. You have no authority to tell nobody nothing. You listen, men, we are out of here. If something don't change, we are out of here. The world's going to be ran by sisses and misses. Men will have no place. You can't talk to a woman about nothing. Everything a man does is under a microscope. Everything a woman does, they take it to God. Am I wrong? Everything that a man does, he's a dog, low down bastard. Why would you go out and do that? But the nature of a man is to be attracted to women. And now they're telling you, if you're attracted to a woman and you invite that woman over for some sex, and if you put that woman on a plane, that's trafficking. Or yes, the man law says you can't bring a woman over lines and buy her stuff and treat her nice and spend a lot of money on her, because that's trafficking. You're trafficking. The man law. And if most of you niggas don't know what the man law started simply with who? Jack Johnson, one of the most famous boxers of all time, knocked out so many white men they had to create a law to put him in jail. Jack Johnson had all them white women hemmed up, had their ankles by their ears, and hemmed them up. And they made a law to put any black man in jail who is spending large amounts of money and taking women over state lines. That means you're trafficking. So by nature, men, it's getting to the point now you can't do nothing. The entire system tells you that you can't be attracted to a woman. If you say something to her, it could be harassment. If you take her across state lines and buy her a Gucci bag, it's trafficking. Stay with me now. You can't talk to kids. You can't talk to. You can't do anything. You can't be with your kids. You can't spend time with your kids. You can't do nothing with your kids. The system allows you to be played with. When is it going to take? Or what is it going to take for men to stand up and be what they need to be? Why are we scared? Where is the fear? Because these sissies and misses, these sissies and misses are clowning. These sissies and misses, they acting a fool. They acting a plum fool out here. They saying what they want to say, and these men have these platforms who sit up all day on these platforms with their feminine, flamboyant asses, and they sit on these platforms and they kiss the feet and lick the toes of these women. Are all women wrong? Absolutely not. But when you have a channel or you have a podcast where you hold never and ever hold nobody accountable but men, we have a problem. There's no men. And guess what? I dare you to go to one of these podcasts and try to speak up for men or try to stand in the gap for men. They'll cuss your ass out. And then they'll let the women on the panel call you bitch ass niggas. You a bitch. You ain't shit. You fat. You ugly mother. They will let them talk to you like nothing. But when you regurgitate that same energy and call them out their name, then all the sissies on the panel, the men, the flamboyant, the men who act like women will interrupt you and say, we don't talk to women like that over here. I've seen it. I've seen it. Anybody want to challenge that? Please come up. I would love to have a conversation with you, have some dialogue with you. We can conversate. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. But there's something going on. It's 3:00 in the morning. Men don't have a shot. Men don't have a chance. You can't tell a woman to do nothing. You can't ask a woman to do nothing. You can't talk to a woman. You might go to jail for harassment or get arrested or shit. You're definitely going to lose your job. Don't go to your job and try to talk to no woman. You can wink at her. You out of there. You done. You better listen. I'm no promoter. I'm no promoter. Listen to me now. I want you to stay with me. I'm not a promoter of the Jergens community. But the way the things are moving now, you better go to Sam's and get you a family pack of Jergens lotion. Yes, I recommend it. I recommend it. I recommend that you go get you a family pack because if you don't, you could be in jail, you could be harassed, you could lose your job. Black male leadership is sinking. It's on life support, guys. Everybody is conforming. The Pandora's box has been opened. And now since the Pandora's box has been opened, everything is coming out. And now everybody's upset because of what they opened. Now, and you know what? I was taking up for you women. I said that you guys should be upset about what happened with these men dressing up like women and coming into your sports and beating your ass, out lifting you, out swimming you, out wrestling you, out boxing you, out MMAing you, out what's the other, out golfing you, out tennising your ass. I felt bad for you. But then I thought about it. I don't feel bad for you no more. I don't, because this is what you voted for. You voted for people who wanted to put tampons in boys' bathrooms. Yes. Minnesota. Y'all remember Minnesota? Y'all remember the man over in Minnesota? Y'all remember y'all governor over in Minnesota put tampons in boys' bathrooms because the boys said that they get a menstrual cycle? It's delusion. And there was not a man in that Congress, or there's not a man under that cabinet in Minnesota that says, we're not going to do it. We're not putting tampons in boys' bathrooms because they say that their penises are bleeding. We're not going to do it. Not one man stood up because they felt like they'll lose everything. Not one man stands up when you see a tall 6'3", bulky chest ex-football player in a Walmart dress and some Dollar General slippers coming out the women's bathroom. Nobody says nothing. But guess who I do see, black men? The sissified black men. I'm talking to you. The ones that protect these laws and protect the women who vote for these laws. Let me tell you something. You are the ones that are doing nothing. But you know what I did see? I saw a white man standing in front of his yard with an AR-15 in his hand. And he said these words. He said, listen to me, sparkle farts. He called them sparkle farts. He said, listen, sparkle farts, if you go in the bathroom with my daughter, I'm prepared to go to jail. I'm prepared to leave my family to protect my family. The white boys are ready. I've said this several times. I've gone to several gun shows. And the gun shows are predominantly white people. White men with their wives and their children and 12-year-old boys. Dad, can I get more bullets from a 22? Daddy, can I get more bullets from a 20 gauge? And our kids and our sons and daughters are sitting in the mirror adding eyelashes. Our sons are sitting in the room painting their fucking fingernails. And these white men got their sons up here getting ready for World War III. I have a question. Are we the only culture? Are we the only culture that are not preparing our young men to be men, or preparing our young men to be fighters, or preparing our young men to stand on business? Or are we waiting to see? We have the highest number. We have the highest statistic of single mothers. If you don't believe me, ask your mama. The highest statistics of single motherhoods in the black community, 78% of women who have children are not married or in a relationship. Some of them are one-night stands. They're one-night stands, women who just go out and have sex. Listen, we having babies, and the women are having babies at an alarming rate, and the 78% of them are single mothers. And we wonder why these young boys out here painting their fingernails. They're not tough. You pluck them, they fall on the ground. If you whisper in their ear, their ribs break. They softer than FEMA tissue. And we allow it. These boys gonna be okay. They've changed everything. They changed football to cater to the softness of these little boys. You can't even do a ring of honor no more. You can't even you can't get down on your back and get up and hit each other no more like we used to back in the day. These big ass 6'3", 325-pound offensive linemen who are freshmen in high school, they crying and passing out, falling out all over the floor. And they go, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. My mom made me do it. I swear. I don't want to do it. Just get your big ass up and go home. Don't nobody want to deal with these. So now we have fathers who are not in the home. Some of these fathers just said, fuck it. I can't deal with no woman sissifying my boy. And I'm not going to sit here and watch it. We've gotten to a point, guys, this has got really bad. We've gotten to a point now that fathers are taking their sons to prom, and the sons are dressed in women and prom dresses. If you don't believe me, just Google it. Go to TikTok and look up Daddy Takes Trans Son to Prom. It'll blow your damn mind. A grown ass 60-year-old man, gray beard, no better, escorting his trans son to prom. And the son, I'm gonna see if I can find it. And the son got a weave, a quick weave, nails painted, long ass prom dress to go down the street. And his dad would pull up. He over there crying. My daddy's here. They take me to prom. Oh my God. All the hiccuping and shit. Instead of his daddy getting out the car and saying, I ain't taking you like this. Get your punk ass in the house and put on some slacks. That's what he should have told him. But he ain't do it. He escorted him on to the prom. Son, I got you. Come on, grab my arm. I wish my son would. Dad, I want to go to prom, and our son come out the house in a purple dress. We're going to tear that damn driveway up. It's going to be glass. It's going to be tailgates and garage door pieces everywhere. Yeah, Alex. Absolutely, Alex. If this is the same Alex I'm thinking of, man, ain't seen you in a long time. What's up? But yeah, absolutely, Alex. I'm not going to say the men are raising these 65 boys. I'm saying that the women have so much power. They have so much power that they pushing these men into these roles that they don't want to be in. If you go look at the video of that father picking his son up for prom, you can see it in his face that this my son a sissy, and I don't want to take my son to no prom. But I guarantee you his old lady, no, that's what we said in the South. His old lady said, you better take him or you ain't getting no more of this old pussy. Men, we got to stop this. We got to stop allowing coochie, vagina, vajayjay, hotbox, kitten cat, cuckoo, meow, all that, whatever you want to call it. We got to stop allowing the coochie to conform us into a slave pit of us being told what to do and us to accept things that we would normally accept. Jesus Christ. I found the video too. Jesus Christ. I'm going to play it for y'all in a minute. I'm play it for y'all in a minute. I just, I'm going to see if I can find it on YouTube. That means I can just share the screen with y'all and let y'all see it. But again, what's happening to us as men? Let's be honest. What's happening really? What's going on, Aja? What's going on? You doing all right? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe button for me. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. So what are we going to do? Can y'all put it in the chat? What are we going to do? See, I already had this stuff here. I already typed out here. Let me see if I can find this man taking his son to prom on YouTube, because I got to show y'all, because I can share that real quick. I ain't got my Instagram pulled up on here. Let me see. Let's see. Man taking son to prom. Jesus Christ. And then y'all want to sit up here and be mad at us. Y'all want to sit up here and be mad at us because we not putting up with the shit. Oh, I'm sorry, Asia. My bad. Asia. What's going on? I didn't mean to say your name wrong. My bad. Let's see. A man taking son to prom. Shit. Oh, I found this sugar bear shit right here, right now. Let me pull it up. Look at this. Hold on a minute. Let me pull it up, because we got people reviewing it. I want y'all to see this sissy being picked up by his. Look at his daddy. Ow! Let me pull it up. My nerves bad. I almost had a stroke right there. Let me show y'all this. What's up, man, Jerry? You want to come up here, man? Link in the chat. I want y'all to see this. And this is what they want us to accept. Okay, let me put this up on the big screen. I want y'all to see this. Let me get myself out the way. I don't even want to be in the way. Look at this. Grown ass black man taking his son to prom in a dress. The boy got a quick weed look better than half the women I know. Look at this. Yeah, look at this. Oh, somebody, anybody. Why you tell me they roll like this? Why? Why you tell me they roll like this? Look at them. Oh. I want y'all to get in the chat. I need y'all to be active tonight. Get in the chat. Also, get in the chat. Send a cash app or something. I don't do this shit for free. Send a cash app or something so we can continue this show. Go ahead and send a cash app right now. Everybody in this chat right now, everybody in this chat send $1. I got $30 up in the cash app. If you want to send a super chat, send a super chat. But back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by this purple dress and bow tie, long hair, confused. Okay, confused. Look at him, her, him, them. I don't know. I don't know. But how many of y'all gonna accept this? And look how he started crying. I guess his daddy told him hell no, and the mama made him go. Look how the daddy coming up the damn driveway. Look. And he got a matching suit. They got the same suit on, but the boy got a damn dress on. Yes. Aja. That's the same. That's a boy. Are you hearing me? That's a boy. That's a boy, Damon. That's a boy, Damon. But we still gonna play games. Anthony Mackie, 11 months ago, got on the pivot and told everybody how he don't play with his sons. He said he don't play no games. And guess what? Those same feminine, flamboyant, sissified YouTube content creators were on here saying that Anthony Mackie was a liar. Anthony Mackie shouldn't teach his sons to be protectors and teach his sons to be watching over the house while he not there, while he out making this money. Aja, I don't know. Aja said, why doesn't he want to be proud? Why doesn't he want to be proud to be a man? I don't know. But the thing is, what I'm talking about tonight with black male leadership, a black man, all jokes aside right now, guys, the black male leadership, black male leadership should look like this. Son, I understand that you want to live an alternate life. However, it is unnatural for you to live this life. So what I'm going to do is express to you how important it is for you to be a man, and especially a black man. What is happening to you is called orchestrated delusion. The world would like to see more men be feminine because they know the softness can't and will not fight back. And so we're going to make every little black, because they believe that black men are stronger, they're faster. If you don't believe me, take all black men out of sports and see how many leagues survive. NFL will be over in a day. NBA will be over in a month. They know we're faster. They know we're stronger. They know we're more. They know our swag is better. They know we look better. Our hairlines look better. We have better grades of hair. We come in all different sorts and colors: yellow skin, dark skin, caramel, purple, albino. We come in all different flavors. Pause. And you think that they want to see men united, men standing up for something, men standing on the front lines, who would rather beat their chest than to beat a booty hole? You think that's what they want you. That's why when y'all were out here protesting, we want Kamala, and Kamala is over there at the Pride Parade. Woo! You know why? Because she married the oppressor. She does not have any children with the oppressor. She took on two of the oppressor's children, and she never had any black children of her own. So she basically got She basically did what the feminist movement did to black women. Followed the oppressor, and then the oppressor cut you loose and left you high and dry. And then want to sit up there and sing, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. No, freedom don't mean you to walk around here with your dick tucked with a dress on saying that you want to be a goddamn woman. No. And that's what I'm saying. In the 60s, in the 50s, this shit was considered a mental illness. It was considered a mental illness. And all of a sudden, everybody started accepting it. And now we got gay churches, gay pastors, gay open pastors, gay pastors with the first man of the church, the first gentleman of the church. I just hope God wake up one day and say, and just slap earth. Boom. I mean, it's time. I mean, it's getting real bad out here. I hope the alarm clock go off in heaven and God, Jesus just wake up and be like, you ready, Father? Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this rapture started. How many men are going to stand up? How many men are going to stand for what they believe in? How many men are going to stand on business? Now, listen, I simply know that this show's not going to be sexy because some of them sissified niggas are probably watching right now. And you know I don't care. BMU started this channel by himself. But some of them sissified niggas, listen to me now, stay with me now, are watching right now. And they know who I'm talking about. I should start calling some names, but I don't have the time to go to war because I can. But I have to devote my time to things. My woman, my kid, my child. And if I could sit at home all day and let my wife do all the work while I sit at home and do nothing and be on YouTube all day, then I would do that. You know, I no shit, I take that back. Lord, please forgive me. I won't do that. Sit in front of the camera all day while my woman working. If I ain't making a significant amount of money, sit in front of this damn camera, I'm gonna have my ass in somebody's office in a rise building looking up at the building. What I'm not going to do is have my woman doing all the work while I'm sitting at home all day. You niggas crazy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But I had it here. Says these are the questions, y'all. These are the questions that I've been presented here. Has black masculinity been weakened culturally or politically? Absolutely. Culturally, for sure. Listen, if you go to Atlanta, Georgia, if you don't go to Magic City, you ain't gonna see no titties. Listen, there's a lot of niggas in Atlanta, and all of them want to be women. All of them. And y'all niggas are the ones, and I'm not gonna say niggas, y'all women, the women are the ones who support this behavior. They have a best friend who's gay, and they have a man who's, oh my God, oh, that's my friend. Me and him been friends forever. And they support this shit. If you are supporting any type of homosexuality and not trying to help them people get delivered from that, then you are part of the fucking problem. You are no better than the police officers who sit and watch other police officers beat the shit out of innocent people. You are the equivalent to a police officer watching another police officer be violent and beating up an innocent person. You are part of the fucking problem. You're part of the goddamn problem. Again, I see y'all coming in droves right now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. All right? Get in the chat. Let me know how you feel. If you want to come up, the link is at the top of the chat. If you don't see the link, let me know in the chat, and I will definitely get it over to you. I'll definitely get it over to you. But the question is simple. As men, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Shit. It's bad. It's bad. I see it every day. I see a big 6 foot tall nigga with his nuts hanging out his swimsuit out here swimming against these college girls, beating the shit out of them by a mile. What man gonna stand up and say this is not gonna happen? Hell, I'll share this with you. My daughter was playing basketball. We were in San Antonio. My daughter was playing basketball. Yeah, you can come up 100 watts. The link at the top of the chat. If you need it, just let me know. I'll put it in the chat, back in the chat. But I went to see my daughter play basketball. My daughter goes out on the court to play basketball. And I'm looking, I'm like, some tall ass girls with short cut hair. I said, boys. So I said, wait a minute. I said, no, my daughter not playing against no niggas today. I just walk out on the court. Excuse me. Hold on. And you know I'm loud. Hey, are those boys? Well, you know, the parents of these abominations come out of the stands and they want to say, hey, our child is transitioning. I don't care if your child I don't care about your child transmission being slipping. I don't give a fuck about none of that. They're not playing against my daughter today in this championship game. Promise you. And so these girls, these he-she's, these abominations have been whooping ass all day. They have been whooping ass all day. And so now they got to my daughter. I'm not going to allow it. I'm a man. I'm not going to allow my daughter to get slam dunked on, kicked down, beat down to the floor because I have my son go out there and whoop his ass. So I don't want problems. So I'm standing in the middle of the floor. They asked me, hey, sir, if you don't move, we're going to have you removed, have to have security. I said, well, go get security and have me removed because I'm not going nowhere until the boys off the court. Now I've caused enough friction and I've rocked the boat. Now all the other parents who are my daughter's teammates have a problem with it. Now it's loud. And now, guess what? I have a picture. Damn, I wish I would have put it up here. I don't want to expose nobody else's abominations. But I had a picture of those kids. And guess what they did with them two big old boys? Sat their asses down. And guess what happened? My daughter then beat the brakes off their ass. Because that was their go-to. How is you as a man, how is you as a father in your home allow your son, a black son, to leave the house with Daisy Duke shorts on, with his hair cut in a feather, looking like Gladys Knight, leaving the house to go play basketball against some girls? These wives, I'm telling you, it has to be something in the sperm that was stored in your wife before you got with her. It got to be that inner nigga, that she had that was really bad for her, and he a part of that DNA. He's manifesting. And he's checking these other, he come out and check the husband every now and then. Hey, my son gonna be a cheerleader. You know what? Even more so. I went to New Orleans, love Louisiana. That's my home. Listen. Louisiana, baby. Okay. Go home. I'm looking at the band at the Mardi Gras. Boom, digga, boom, digga, boom, digga, boom. I said, yeah, y'all killing. Boom, digga, digga, boom. I hear 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 3, 3. I said, what the fuck is this? My son said, Daddy. I said, what? He said, Dad, them boys. Niggas got little sticks in their hand and they just twisting like little girls. Down the street. I said, oh, hell no. Next week, y'all, I'm gonna have this stuff loaded. I was unprepared. I was doing stuff for my baby today. And I got sidetracked. Okay. But I got videos, personal videos of these boys marching down the street in glittery leotards with their damn hair slicked back in a ponytail, twirling a little stick to my, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 2, 3. I say, what the fuck is happening? And then I'm like my boy JT, my brother JT said,
clock it. Clock it.
You know he's gonna click that, JT.
You gotta click it. JT in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, bro?
JT, listen, man. JT, my blood is boiling.
And 1, 2, 3.
JT, big ass boys, 14, 15 years old, should be out here playing football, tackle football with no pads on. To my and 1, 2, 3, 2, and 2, 2, 3, and breaking that shit down. I was saying, what the fuck is happening? Matter of fact, JT, it was the same Mardi Gras that me and you was at together.
Oh, the one, oh yeah. Oh, that one. That was that last year? Yes.
We could not get to each other for shit.
For shit. It was, man, that shit was off the
chain.
It
was packed, boy. It was so many damn people. I couldn't get to you, brother. I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to see JT today.
Damn, it took me forever to find my youngest daughter because she was working and she was just getting out. She was working at the Mardi Gras. So we was just all over the place. But yeah.
Boy, I went to the day parade and the night one. That's when I called you when I was at the night.
Yeah.
Right. The one the kids can't go to.
Yeah. And I was at the we went to the Luna Ball earlier that day. And then it was,
you sent me the videos.
Yep. And then there was a couple other it was another ball we went to and they had one of them, it was at the what center is that, bro? And the parade, I think the parade you was at, they went through. Did they go? Because they went through that center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it took, man, we couldn't get to each other at all,
man. Bro. There were too many people.
Yeah. When I heard, like, I was hearing the same shit you was hearing on the phone, and we still couldn't find out. Like, damn.
But listen, man. So let me ask you, man. How do you feel about this for real, though, all jokes aside? How do you feel about male leadership, man? I said it's on life support. And I want to ask you this. Who's killing Black masculinity? This is the question I have for you. You go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, so, I do believe that it is on life support. It's not all the way dead. We fighting hard. The men that actually standing on ground, we fighting really hard, bro. But it's very difficult for men in these days and time to actually show true leadership, because it's kind of like what we said in one of your other shows, that this marriage thing now, it turns into it's false. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad deal for a lot of these men because they can't be leaders in these arrangements that they're in now. So, and this is what's crazy, Black Man.
Go ahead.
You got a lot of right now. The way it is that you have the children and the wife or the mother. The children and the father are the ones that's following the mother's lead, and she's leading them to hell. And this is for the majority of what I see. It's going to get worse because of what you just talked about. A lot of these boys, they're learning that femininity is the way to go. And they can't even get that done right because they too upset, mad, and they're enraged. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's fucked up.
Man, it tastes the caramel in the building tonight. She said, hey, dear, just running through to say hello. What's up, girl? He said, great topic. I pray that men pull strong and women get in lockstep with y'all. Absolutely. We appreciate you because you always been an advocate for us on this channel. That's why you have the wrench. So I appreciate you, Sugarfoot. And thank you for being here tonight and supporting the channel as you always do. But JT, back to what I was saying, man, I look at this emasculation thing. Today, I was watching a podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got to tell you who it is. You already know who it is. And
there's only one name that come to mind, but go ahead.
They was in the comments, bro. I mean, not comments. They was on the panel, and they said that the man got on there. He said sometimes women dress inappropriately and tease men. Mm-hmm. This sissified, flamboyant ass nigga said, "Oh, what? I don't know nobody that do. I don't know no women that try to entice men with their clothes.
What?
Or try to tease men with their clothes." I said, my baby teasing me now walking through here. Shit. And all of them on the panel, he got attacked. I mean, when I tell you they all got on his ass, they got on his ass and attacked that man for saying that women tease men because of the clothes. Sometimes they can tease men because of the clothes they wear.
That's crazy. It starts with the ideology.
Yeah. And what is that? Come on, you tell them.
You can't, if you got a man that's already given what his observation is, and he's given that synopsis of his observation, you can't have a panel full of women and less than men to be able to have that conversation with, because they're going to make him out to be the damn the villain, right? As soon as he says something, it's no, you hate women. You hate women. That's basically where it is. So it's kind of like men is, if you have to be able to say something to stand on it, you can't care about who likes you or who's going to agree with you. You just got to stand on that shit.
Oh, one of the women on the show said, "Oh, let me go. This is 2026. I don't give a goddamn if it's 1956. If a woman put on something provocative, she gonna get looked at. I don't understand the problem. And I don't understand how it's disgusting for a man to look upon a woman who is dressed inappropriately or dressed like, real sexy, titties, ass out. Every man gonna look. We all gonna look.
Yeah, absolutely. The craziest part is that they don't even have to wear real skimpy clothes and all of this stuff, and men would still find them attractive. That's what they don't understand. It's kind of like it's like they try to correct something or fix something that wasn't broke in the first place. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, women, they actually know when they put that shit on and they got shit all in the crack of their ass and they got their titty nipples, because most women ain't wearing bras anymore.
Oh, absolutely not.
So they're doing this the intention is to entice men. And it ain't got so bad now, dog, where they're trying to also entice women too. So if the leadership of men, the black man's leadership is on life support, that means the structure of the family is dead already.
Already gone. Obituary, read silently.
Yeah.
Because think about it. The leadership of a man should be able to look at a woman and say, "Hey, baby, your daughter, your woman, your sister, nieces, hey, that's inappropriate. You're not wearing that."
Oh, you say that? That's a fight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a fight.
Yeah. She don't want to put hands on you.
It's even worse for women. You say some shit like that, oh man, the sisterhood gonna come after your ass.
Yeah, what you think about this though?
And if you look at the video, it's nothing but women surrounding him, and then the man looked like the daddy is doing that walk of shame. He's doing a walk of shame. We had that video up one time, and that was one of the things I said. I said that man he got shamed into acquiescing to being able to follow the ideology of walking your son down with a dress on at a prom.
And they probably told him, you must don't love your child. That's still your baby.
Yeah, this is the thing. Because you don't like what they do and you try to correct it, they say that you don't love your child.
Exactly.
No, he does it. Actually, it's because he does love his child.
Exactly.
But men have fallen so bad to the point that they just want the kids and the moms to like them. They ain't even married to the mom, by the way. Because it's bad. I think we ain't even on life support no more, bro, when you look at stuff like that. That shit reminded me of even like the Magic Johnson thing. You can't tell me that man don't wake up every morning saying, God damn.
Yeah. Your son's 6'8", 240, and a sissy.
A size 22 shoe. And then he want to put it in a stiletto.
Yep.
Nigga, that shit is like a bike ramp.
Yep.
But it's the ideology of this and how men have fallen so bad, black men specifically, have fallen so bad where they fell into this ideology where they want people to like them. You know, it was a time where men didn't give a fuck who liked them or not.
Exactly.
They didn't care.
Oh,
especially
shit.
if they stood on righteousness.
Oh, shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to stop the show for just a second. We have a new guest in the building, okay? He is also a part of the Black Man Unfiltered Network, all right? He has his show coming on tomorrow. Make sure you guys are here at 9 Central Standard Time, all right? He is here tonight. Tyrus is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What up, though? What up, though, man?
Tyrus,
I was just doing some real feminine shit, like building my AI and researching infrastructure projects. And I forgot to do masculine thing, like worry about two dudes sword fighting like you guys are doing. So wanted to come up here and let's be masculine and talk about what gay guys are doing. Right? That's real masculine shit.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you're here. So we can have this conversation. So listen, I'm talking about men who black male leadership who are not. Did you see this video? I want to make sure. Did you see this video before?
Yeah, I saw it. But hey, play it again, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah. Let me get you together here. Let me start it back over. Look at his father. Instead of this is a failure in male leadership. Failure. He's a failure. He's a failure.
Absolutely.
As a black man, he is a failure. He's a failure. And he's the reason why the black community looks like it. This is why. This is why these boys are softer than femur tissue. It's because daddy's like that.
We supposed to just be like, is this supposed to be like the Warriors? We just supposed to be walking around like the Bronx, New York in the 70s, just beating random people up? Is that masculine?
That ain't
we just supposed to be beating people's asses all day, bro.
You being disingenuous,
like come on, dog.
Come on. It's
one person, dog. It's a handful of people, JT. Like, come on with this.
No, it's not. It's
Tyrus,
listen. Y'all keep having
my kids are in school, Tyrus. My kids are in school. Tyrus, my kids are in school, Tyrus. My daughter was in an AAU game last year, and 2 boys walked on the floor as the starting 5 playing against my daughter.
Oh, Lord.
What are we talking about?
Send the National Guard.
Yes.
Send Vladimir Putin.
What are we talking about?
Put an end to that shit. No, this is the thing. Yes, put an
end
to that shit.
You know what? Stop the narrative. When I come up here, I want to know facts. So can we Google how many transgendered people there are in this country?
No, I don't want to.
How many of them play sports?
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to because you already know the answer. And you already know you're fear-mongering, you being a helicopter parent, you doing all this nonsense about nothing.
Hold on, Tyrus, let me ask you a question. Do any one of your beautiful children play a sport?
Yes, they're both in track.
Okay, so if your daughter lined up in the 100 and a dude got up beside your daughter and they say, set, and you saw big calf muscles in that boy up against your daughter and you didn't work hard with your baby girl, you're going to be okay with that boy smoking your daughter.
Bro, I don't know. And BM, I don't care.
Right. So that's the point.
I don't give a shit. But Tyrus, because ain't none of them going to get a tax break from that. Ain't none of that shit going to lower my Verizon bill. None of that shit's going to lower my property taxes.
We ain't talking about that.
But what about your daughter's feelings?
No. You're talking about black male leadership, right? That's what black male leaders should be worried about. Not freaking 0.006 of the population. You are fear-mongering over 0.006 of the population. You should be fear-mongering about our black men being sent to Iran right now. Is that masculine? You should be worried about black men being replaced by AI.
Tyrus.
Masculine, but no, we're gonna worry about some transgendered or some shit. Come on,
Tyrus, you said it. Hold on.
I'm gonna pull this video up with these boys marching with the band.
We got way bigger shit in this country to worry about.
Hold on, Tyrus. This is the thing. those things are those things are important too. This ain't what we talking about. The way that you out here trying to set this narrative, homie, you are disingenuous in your conversation, homie. You are absolutely, you are. You went and start talking about goddamn politics and all of that shit. We're not talking about that tonight.
Black
We're talking about
male leadership on life support.
Yes.
And so everything I mentioned was black male leadership.
No, okay, but we didn't say that wasn't important. You come up saying, hold on.
You just said I was disingenuous when I'm sticking to the topic.
You're not sticking to the topic. Let me tell you why. The reason why you're not sticking to the topic, we had something that we were specifically talking about. You coming up here talking about, first and foremost, you shouldn't even be in a conversation if you don't care. You don't give a fuck about it. That's why when you come here and you start talking about how many...
BM, was you not talking about the transgender and the feminine boys?
We were talking about a father.
No, CJT, no. Let's stop right now. BM, did you not mention that at the start of your show? So what are we talking about? I am talking about the topic, JT. Once again, JT, you're whining about nothing because I'm once again staying to the topic and you're just windmilling.
That narrative. You see how he swings that narrative? That's what I'm talking about, you being disingenuous. First you talk about somebody's...
We just established that I'm not. We literally just established that I'm not.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. Because I'm talking about it right now.
Black male leadership.
I'm literally pointing it out while you're talking over me. I'm literally pointing it out while you're talking over me.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
you coming over here talking about, first and foremost, like I said, you recused yourself out of the conversation when you said you don't care. So you didn't even have to come up here and speak on that. You could have just kept on doing what you was doing.
JT, I don't care about how you frame it because how you frame it is wrong. I absolutely care about black male leadership. You know I care about black male leadership. I don't care about how you frame it because how you frame it is going to continue having our black male leadership.
No. Yes. I did not say that you didn't care about black male leadership.
That's exactly what you just said. That's exactly what you just said. Like, how many times we got to walk this back, JT?
Tyrus, quit over talking me, homie. Let me say what I got to say.
Wrong, JT.
Let me just say what I got to say.
You won't even let him finish to be wrong. You won't even let the nigga finish to be wrong.
Okay, Tyrus, let JT get his off, and then you can respond to JT.
Go ahead,
JT. You came up and said you don't care nothing about the homosexuality issue that we have, right? It don't matter to you. That means you recuse yourself out of the damn conversation.
No, I didn't. Because what is the topic, BMU? BMU, what's the topic?
The topic is black male leadership is on life support.
Which means even though you're talking about homosexuality, that is a subtopic of the general topic itself.
That's where we were. That's where we were. That's where we were.
PM. The general topic is what?
Yeah, it's black male leadership.
Okay. So I never said that wasn't just like you can frame it. So JT, just like you can frame it about homosexuality and all that, I could come up here, say I don't care about your framing, and then frame it how I want to about black male leadership. You see
that's
how
why you're disingenuous. That's why it makes it disingenuous.
No, it's not being disingenuous.
Fuck with JT and Black Man talk about. I want to talk about what I want to talk about.
But what's crazy is that I talk about Democrats exactly and what BM was talking about.
Trump, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about these things.
A whole bunch of things, bro.
Yeah, but we wasn't on that.
Hold on just a second. So we had a female here in the chat. She said that's actually the problem, men not caring. How would you respond to her?
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I don't care about 0.0006 of the population. So I can't. No, let me answer the question, please. Because she's clearly.
So you don't want to get cut off. You don't want to get cut off.
You see, ma'am, right now, that 0.006 of the population, ma'am, that's not going to fix the potholes in the middle of the highway.
See?
That 0.00, well, no, because we're talking about black male leadership, right? So, I don't care about homosexuality from the black male leadership standpoint because it's irrelevant.
So you could have
You guys just don't like the answer. You guys just don't like my answer.
Hold on, JT. So you don't think so? Tyrese, I'm gonna ask you this directly. We gotta get everybody else in here. We gotta get Grant in here. We gotta get 100 Watts in here. So you don't believe that there is an agenda to feminize black men?
No.
100 Watts. Grant came first. Grant, what do you think? Welcome to the show, my boy Lost in Translation in the building. What's going on? Grant, I'm gonna let you go first. Then we get Hunter Watson. Lost can come hit y'all from the. Never mind. Pause.
Man.
Grant, what are your
Big
thoughts?
pause. Hey, you see, hey, is that masculine BMU? God dang. Bro.
Pause is masculine. Pause, because we were recognizing that it's some feminine shit. Go ahead, Grant.
I tend to also believe spending this much time on a very small group of people it just doesn't seem it's effective in this sense. And I think leadership is occurring. I mean, ultimately, you see people attempting it. You wouldn't have panels like this if people are at least asking the question.
Mm.
And so I just think that maybe if we focus on how do you impact the kids or the young men who are interested in a certain idea, I think could be far more beneficial. I think looking at the edge cases could be problematic. And so I just think we need to be a little bit more thoughtful about sort of who we demonize, who we use as scapegoats for what are real consequential problems within the larger African American community. So I do think there are issues to be examined. I don't necessarily know if some of the fringe cases are useful in this case.
Okay, now let me say this. Hunter Watts, go ahead and say what you got to say, and then I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Go ahead, Hunter Watts.
I think the conversation we're having, Black male leadership, is a conversation that this network has been having for years. This conversation has been had in many aspects, and this conversation in particular was at one point, because we know how this network works, where this can be turned into a 4-hour conversation, and it will be a full conversation, and it won't just be stuck on homosexuality.
Exactly.
Anybody that's been around this network long enough knows that, and anyone who hasn't been here, you can take your ass to some videos and watch some shit. It's proof in the product. Okay. Now, the conversation that we're having right now, you keep throwing out that percentage, that small number, and yes, it's a small number. But the point that us as parents, especially as the parents of athletes, female athletes in particular, when are we supposed to start paying attention? Is it supposed to be after there's a whole fucking, what is the percentage when we're supposed to care? I don't care if the percentage is 0.001%. I don't want my daughter competing with a man. I don't give a fuck what the percentage is. When is it that it becomes a conversation when that's important? For one. For two, it was an overarching conversation that was happening before you started throwing that small ass number statistic, because it wasn't even the transgender in particular that was being spoken about. It was how soft some of these boys are coming up. And that the transitioning is an example of how soft some of these boys are. These little niggas are soft as hell.
They are.
They don't even like falling off a bike without their mama coming putting a Band-Aid on them. These little boys is fucking soft. Okay. And that was the conversation that we were having. The conversation was, what are we doing as Black men to help make these boys soft as hell? And what do we need to be doing to stop that shit? Because these boys is soft as hell.
So
that's what the conversation was. It wasn't particularly about being transgender. It was about how being soft turns into and becomes shit like that.
Right. So I'm going to address your point by point. What's funny, 100 Watt, and BMU will know this too. Hey, BMU, if I did what 100 Watt told me to do and go back and watch old videos on this platform, who do you think we would find in there? Come on, BMU. What panelists do you think you would find in them older videos?
Everybody sitting here right now.
Everybody, including me, right?
Yeah.
Everybody
including me for the last 2-3 years. So,
that's true.
What are you talking about? And so now your second point. Again, 0.0006 of the transgender population. It's even smaller, 100 Watt, of actual athletes, which means a lot of you dudes is capping when you're talking about your daughters running against men. Somebody's lying because statistically they don't exist.
I got the picture.
You think they were put?
No. Again, BMU. There's a picture of a transgendered swimmer, but to listen to you, hold on. I'll let you go, and now I'm gonna address your point. To listen to you guys, you would think that every single meet, there was a transgender person in a woman's sport, and yet that's not statistically accurate remotely. You know what? And Hunter Watt, please stop with the parent fear mongering, because as also a parent of 2 daughters, you know I have seen 0. You see how that works, Hunter Watt? Well, I've seen this transgendered people in this. Well, guess what, transgender? I haven't seen any of them. Oh, Hunter Watt, I haven't seen any transgender.
Okay,
you see how that works?
Point,
No. You see how anecdotal evidence works. And then on top of that, your sexuality does not determine your masculinity or femininity.
Nobody said that. No one said that. No one said that. That's not what was said.
Hold on. See, this is why stop. This is why you need to let me, Hunter Watt. This is why I said you need to let me address your points by point, because you literally just said, well, this is soft and it's going to lead to this. But now I'm making the claim or acknowledging that, and now you're saying that's not what we're saying. So why is it that I can quote you guys verbatim, and then now all of a sudden I'm taking you guys out of context?
You did not quote me verbatim. Because that's not what I said.
100 Watt. Did you not say that this soft stuff is leading to the transition? Did you not? If we rewind this 5 minutes, we're not going to hear you say that.
It is an example of and can lead to.
Okay, so Tyrus, let me say this.
You see what I mean? The goalpost keeps moving. The goalpost keeps moving.
Tyrus, hold on, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When COVID first started, how many people had it? And if Trump would have acted, we could have stopped COVID, right? If we got patient 0 and Trump would have just acted immediately, we could have stopped the pandemic, right?
No.
As bad as it was, right?
No. Are you serious?
Exactly,
no.
My point exactly. If you allow,
what?
I'm making a point. Mm-hmm. We couldn't stop the pandemic, right? Because it spread like wildfire, right? This is what happens. What Hunter Watts is saying is, why do we want to wait till it's 4 million boys running against girls before we say something? You have to nip it in the bud at the beginning and get rid of it completely. Let me give you another example. Today, I was watching a sports podcast, and they were upset because Magic City Night got canceled in the NBA. They were going to have Magic City Night in Atlanta for the Atlanta Hawks and the Orlando Magic. That was going to be Monday coming up.
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
They canceled it. The commissioner canceled it. Well, Cameron, who is a rapper, everybody know who Cam is. Mm-hmm. Cameron says, why the fuck would you cancel? You know how you talk. Why the fuck would you cancel a Magic City Night when you got 2 men grinding on each other at the fucking Super Bowl? He said it's the biggest stage in the world. The 2 men grinding on each other at the fucking Super Bowl. And we can't have strippers at the fucking basketball game?
You want to know how...
You see what's being promoted, though?
Yes,
Bad Bunny got up there, and there was 2 men up there grinding their dicks against each other. Nobody said nothing.
Respectfully, BM, as a I guess we gotta quantify this now. As a straight married male, just like you, it is so funny that I only noticed them 2 dudes grinding on each other after you super homophobic dude said something about it.
So this is
I ain't noticed none of that shit in the Super Bowl until listen, like you guys were just like.
Let me ask. Hold on, Turtles.
Like,
let me ask the panel, and I just want to see. Let me just see where everybody thinks.
Well, JT, before you ask that, let Lost go, because Lost been waiting patient. Lost go.
Okay.
JT, you don't want you to cook. Go ahead, Lost.
I got it. It's just a question I had to ask.
Here's my thing, man. Taru said it was 0.000 some odd %, right?
Who's recording that shit?
Here's my deal. I'm not worried about that number. The number I'm worried about is 70% of children being born out of wedlock and not having both parents in the home. To me, that is a greater indicator of what's really going on in the community.
Yep, I agree.
And when I think about stuff like that,
don't agree, BM, because you just disagree with. Sorry, Lost. Sorry.
No, I'm not done yet. People want to point the finger at male leadership. Nobody wants to call out the real problem, which is everybody else fellowship. Why is it that everybody wants to point the finger at the men? The men can have all the rules, put everything in place, but if nobody follows it, then what's the point? So I think men at this point are just saying, hey, I'm fed up with it. And that's the main reason why you see a lot of guys walking away from relationships, a lot of guys not even wanting to date anymore, because nobody wants to play by the rules. So my whole thing is this: when you have a whole generation of people who are raised by one specific gender, that's the reason why you have situations like what Black Man Unfiltered put up. And it's probably a little bit more relevant than that, because it doesn't show up in the form of a young man wearing a purple suit with a dress at the bottom. It shows up as young men being emotional and irrational when it comes to having conversations. It also shows up with young men being overly expressive with themselves or being overly emotional when particular situations arise, because they haven't had their father in their life to show them how to be a man. Those particular things are more akin to what we're really seeing versus whether or not some young man is wearing a dress. My issue is this: when is everybody else going to get on board and stop pointing the finger at the men? Because I think the men have started, they've gotten their things together. As a matter of fact, there's quite a few men. I read an article where there's about 4 million men now going overseas to find wives and starting families quietly. They're not beating their chests. They're not doing any of that. They just say, you know what? We're just going to build somewhere else. And as a result, our community looks like the mess that it is now. If you look at the Democratic Party now, it's a show. You know what I mean? We already know what that is. There's nobody who's standing out that's being a leader. Nobody who's actually galvanizing the community. Nobody has anything of value to say. And my thing is this: look what you've done to the leadership that you've had. You pointed the finger at the people who wanted to make a difference. And then on top of that, the men that you already have, you don't respect them at all. So my whole thing is this: when are we going to get everybody else on board? When are we going to stop pointing the finger at the men and saying that the men are the problem, when the men are the ones who actually built this country? The men are the ones who go out quietly and labor for the love of their family, whether they get appreciated or not. My whole thing is this: when you start honoring men and the contributions that they give to this particular country and this community, I assure you, you'll start having kids who want to be men. You'll start having women who want to honor men. You have people who are willing to follow the direction and move the community forward. But until we start doing that, I think we should just go ahead and stop pointing the finger at men and just say, hey, what are you doing to yourself to actually help those men to be better leaders, to be better fathers, to be better uncles and community guiders in your particular community? Don't point the finger at men anymore. I know it's not popular, and I know nobody want to hear it, and nobody wants to come out and say it, but I'm going to come out and say it, and I dare anybody else to say anything about it. And you showed me an example of what women have actually come out and kids have come out and honored men time after time in this generation. And I'll show you how we can actually get this community back together again. You have to have a direction, and you have to have people willing to follow. And if you don't have people willing to follow, then there's really no need of us having this conversation. And I'm going to leave it at that.
So, Lost, interesting enough, I think you know that about 80% of what you said, I agree with you with. I think we've actually talked about that throughout the years.
I agree.
Right. Side note, it's funny how you can talk about this is a bigger issue and 100 Watt and BMU want to accuse you of changing the narrative. But I digress.
No.
But I digress. I digress.
At the beginning of the show, what did I say? I said 78% of homes are fatherless. I said it when I opened the show. I said we have a problem. 78% of Black children are born to fatherless homes. I said that when I first opened the show.
Oh, yeah. But you also got on me when I mentioned the other stuff you mentioned.
I didn't say nothing about
I digress.
I didn't get on.
I digress. But I want to offer you this up too, Lost. I think one of the things, Lost, I think you've noticed this too, because all of us are old enough that we remember the transition, even though I might be the youngest, we all remember the transition of landline to what the internet is today. Right. And so what we're seeing, Lost, is a lot of young people are now becoming disillusioned of what this country is and isn't. And that also includes the men. You see what I mean? There's a lot of old narratives, Lost, that are being broken in real time. And guys, if you've ever studied cults or how people get taken out of cults, guess what? sometimes when you remove people out of cults, it actually doesn't turn into a good thing. Sometimes they brain fracture so much they can't actually put back reality together. So it's not always going to look pretty, right? So Lost, right now we're dealing with clearly an obsolete education compared to what this country is today and what is needed in the future. And then on top of that, Lost, as a man, the reason why I still point the finger at other men is because it was a man that coded OnlyFans. It was a man that coded Pornhub. It was a man that shut down the factories and sent them overseas. It was a man that wrote the majority of the policies that we see today that is leading to the shit show of this dysfunctional society. So it's going to take us, man, to write the shit out.
What color are these men?
Hold on a second. Before you move.
Ain't none of them black.
Let me ask you a question. What's wrong with honoring the man that's in the current household right now?
I didn't disagree with you on that.
See, my whole thing is before we can actually start pointing the finger at what other men are doing that has nothing to do with us, we need to start honoring the men who are right here in our own homes and our own communities first.
But that does affect us, Lost, because even though we didn't create it, we are consumers of it, as a collective.
Tarus, the reason why I say this is because I don't want us to move the goalposts.
Yeah.
What's wrong with honoring the immediate man in your life? Let's keep this thing micro for the moment.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Nuanced. He better be a man worth honoring.
Oh,
correct.
Let me ask you a question. Who determines whether or not he needs to be honored or not?
Exactly.
Well, I'm sorry. Like, are we going to? Do I get to be nuanced, or is this just a black and white answer?
No. Go ahead.
Here's my whole thing. I'm answering you the question because you said that if he's worthy of being honored, and I'm asking you a question: who deems him fit to be honored?
Well, I mean, I guess we can start with men who don't have a domestic violence charge on their record. That'd be a man worth honoring, right? No, because again, no. You got qualities. I'm answering the question. BM is over here mad, over here making faces, but the reality is it's nuance. I'm sorry, Lost. Not every man in existence deserves to be honored, bro. You know, just like I do, there are some shitty men out there.
But who, Tyrus? Who?
I literally just mentioned it, JT. Men who got domestic violence charges, those are men who shouldn't be honored.
No. He said who determines
whether or not
that man gets honored? Who?
Society?
No.
Who then, guys? Who?
The people who he's responsible for.
Unfortunately lost like some of the people he's responsible that he beats up on.
His immediate family.
Yes. Simply. So when he asked the question of who, that's why it was hard for you to, because guess what? The people that is supposed to matter to, we're in a deficit of that. We're in a deficit of having wife, children, mama, daddy, cousins.
Yes, we've established that.
So the problem that we have is the fact that it goes to what the title was just saying. The leadership of black men is on life support. The reason being is because we've been ignored. And then once we started speaking, now we're not just being ignored. Now we're being painted as what they call it, misogynist. They've always said it, and they've been saying that shit for 60 years, and not one person that used to talk about misogyny knew what the fuck it meant. They look at us as, like what you were just saying, beating up and domestic violence and all these different things. We can't even have, I can say that's one example. I'm just saying,
pause for just a second.
When it comes down
JT,
to it.
Pause. Let me pour some coffee in your, JT, you pour some coffee in your cup. Pause for a second. Because Tyrus said earlier, we shouldn't care about the trans shit because it's 0.00006. So I got on ChatGPT, Google, I got a whole bunch of searches here. And I'm going to read to you collectively what they said about black men in domestic violence cases. It says here, and I quote, It's about 27,000 arrests happen per year. Out of 20 million black men, 27,000 are arrested. It's arrested for domestic violence. That would be far less than 1% of black men in a given year. Less than 1% of black men are arrested.
Yeah, that's a
so
good
why
thing
should we
here.
care about men whooping women asses when it's less than 1% of them?
You know
Why
what's
should we
crazy
care
about that
about the rest
statistic,
of them?
BM? You know how BM. This is why sometimes I wish you wouldn't, because that 27,000 is still more than the total transgendered population.
Oh God, Jesus!
What
You see the problem here?
No, you went right past what he was just saying.
Because no, stop, JT, please stop, because you just finished repeating everything I just said when you was disagreeing.
No, I did not.
Please stop.
No, I did not. Not at all.
What's crazy is that the number you just stated, even though I'm the one who actually speaks up for black men the most up here, the number you stated sucks, because that actually is more than the amount of transgendered. By the way, BM, that means we have more black men committing domestic violence than we have transgendered sports athletes.
That's not
his point. Do you not realize what the hell you just did, BM?
So you just right there. What you just did, you just moved the goddamn goalpost. What he was just saying was, because it's a minute amount, we should not care, because that was your point. Your point is that
is not a small amount.
It's so nominal.
That is not a small amount.
27,000 out of 20
less than
million?
1%.
27,000
That
out of 20
is not
million?
Man, bro. Y'all want to talk about me being disingenuous?
Your argument was that
this
it's
is
so nominal.
crazy.
No, hold on. Your argument, and we gonna put this down on here, and then I'm gonna move out the way. Your argument was that it was so nominal that we shouldn't even be talking about it. Now, the thing was that because when you came up here so hot, one of the things is that it's one of the problems that is growing. If you would have allowed what we were talking about to go and get to a point where we was going to say it's one of the problems, it ain't the problem, but it was something that we was talking to, and you came and you moved that shit all the way out the way. It is a growing problem, and if you don't think that it is, then you're in your own bubble. I'm telling you right now, as a guy that goes out and I do travel, you see it too much. Even in my own damn family, it is too many of these soft ass dudes out here doing crazy ass shit. Soft as shit. Soft as baby shit.
Once again,
and now we gonna say,
we've established that again, correct and factually pointing the narrative like correctly here, because again, there's less transgendered athletes and transgendered as a whole than there is DV domestic violence black men. Like,
if
damn,
that's the case, really, dog, then it's less. Listen.
That's really sad,
it's a small,
bro.
But if that's the case too, it's a small amount of
athletes. And by the way,
the majority of people are not athletes.
JT, since we're talking about masculinity and leadership, JT, what's more masculine? Wearing a dress or beating up on your spouse? Neither one. Now what? Come on. No, bro. Is it masculine to beat up on your wife and kid?
Neither one. Hold on. Neither one. And I'm gonna put it to you like this. A lot of this, and this is, I'm glad you said that, because guess what's happening right now? The niggas in the dress are beating up on women. Niggas in the dress are the ones that's coming there and talking about, what's that name? Zeus. They out here having fights. They setting it up. Setting the fade up.
It's TV. It's
clock it.
I don't. This or not, Truce. I don't know if
it's
you're aware of
entertainment. Now we talking about the Zeus network, bro. Like, that's your evidence.
Truce.
Now he's saying,
bro, come on, dog.
You know how many? But do you know how many people that watch that?
Bro,
that
I would love to get back to what Lost was talking about.
Hold on, Tyrus.
Because that household thing was a good one, but now
Tyrus, do you understand that entertainment, how many people that they have that's actually looking at them and they're doing the same fucking thing in their households?
Yeah, I know. Y'all was dressing like women in the 80s too, bro. And guess what, bro?
Let me ask this question. Hold on.
Still going.
Hold on. Let me ask this question.
Still going.
I want to ask this question, Tyrus. This is for everybody. This is for everybody. This is for everybody. All right. I want to get everybody in on this question. Correct. So, are black men truly the most disrespected men in society today? We'll start with lost in translation and go around the room.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you why. Tarus mentioned domestic violence. There is no person on this planet who's been more violated than a black man in domestic violence. and the numbers support it.
Yep.
And what happens is the narrative gets reported the other way around. But since nobody cares to look at the numbers, then people just run with it and believe it. No, I mean, think about it. If you look at any other demographic of women versus men in these situations, the black man is the one who's most violated. I mean, in public, in private, in the court systems, and everything. You know what I mean? But for some strange reason, we like to point men as the aggressors and the ones who are violent. But according to the numbers, that's not true. And my thing is when we get on these panels and they want to paint black men as the aggressors without even looking at the numbers, I think it's disingenuous. And we're actually not honoring men, is what we talked about earlier before, who deserves to be honored. So my thing is do we honor men with narratives that are not true? No, we do not. And I think that goes back to the issue what we talked about earlier about everybody else getting on board instead of always pointing the finger at the men. You know, you got the news who wants to paint us in the light. You got our women who wants to paint us in a specific light. The children want to present you in a specific light. But at the end of the day, all of that is not true. So my whole thing is if the community turns against the men, what do you expect to do? Those men will draw. They're not going to use any of their resources, their care, their anything, no energy, any of that. So that's why I pointed back to the question earlier. Who determines whether or not that man should be honored? And it goes back to what I said earlier, since we want to move the goalposts, it should be those people who are in his immediate household.
Yes.
And those are the ones who need to be honoring him and reverencing him with respect. Those are the people who need to do it. And if you can't do it, then you need to explain to us why not. Because I'm pretty sure just based upon those numbers that Black Man Unfiltered said, it's not a whole bunch of men who are out here just beating up on women. I think that's a narrative we need to stop painting because that's not a representative of the true numbers at hand. Being is that the men are the ones who are being the victims now. Let's tell the truth.
So I'm going to answer BM. I'm going to answer your question. I want to be clear to Lost. Remember, Lost. BM is the one who brought up the domestic violence statistic of black men, not me.
Truth. Let me explain something to you. The reason
No.
Respectfully. Let me explain to you why he did it, Tarus. I want us to be on the same level field. The reason why he did it, he wanted to make sure that he used that number as the same rule that you were using for the transgender number. Since the number was so small, then it shouldn't matter.
But you're trying. I'm sorry, Lost. You just set the narrative.
No. I'm not setting the narrative. I'm just pointing out the obvious. So we can be on the same field.
Right, Lost.
Listen, the reason why he did that is because he wanted to make sure that he says that, look, just because a number is so small doesn't mean that it's not important.
Okay, Lost, but
that's all it is.
Lost, that's fine, but you're trying to paint the narrative as if I was using the statistic to originally trash black men from your narrative. That's not what I did.
No, that's not what I said.
No, but that's exactly what you just what I said. So to answer your question, BM, are black men the least respected in this society? No, not anymore. Are we at the top of the totem pole? No. Are we climbing that totem pole? Absolutely. Right now, the most disrespected.
Stop. Before you move forward, can you prove what you just said? Because the problem is we get on these rants and we go on for 20 minutes and nobody substantiates their claims. So I'm putting you on the floor right here, right now. I need you to prove to us, to tell us why the black man is the least disrespected in America. Go.
You want me to prove why they're the least?
Yes, because you said
they're not. He said they're not.
I literally said they're not. I said we weren't.
Explain to us why.
I was just about to explain why. Why'd you cut me off?
No, because you were moving.
My God. No. Now I need you to just be quiet.
Let's go.
Because I was literally about to answer the question and you're not listening. You just proved that.
Go.
Like, God damn. So, BM, to answer your original question, no, black men are not the least respected in this country. We are not at the top of the totem pole, but we are climbing for respectability. Right now, it seems like society-wise, the most disrespected men, probably like the Indians, like the East Indian dudes or like the South Asian guys. they get trashed left and right. You still hear about them to this day, about their low dating numbers, about how they're the least picked men in the country. Right? I think anybody could look that up. That's a statistical fact. And so black men, the education has been going up. Our income statistically has been going up. Our wealth has been going up. So yes, we're climbing. We are not the most disrespected men in this country. Unless, of course, you guys think we are the most disrespected.
By our family, we are.
That's not what the question was.
By the community, we are.
BMU asks, were we the most disrespected in society? BMU, am I incorrect or correct?
That's the question.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Answer the question.
Lost.
I need you to show that same delusional, non-listening shit to JT that you showed to me. Tell him to answer the question.
You said that they weren't, right?
Yeah, they weren't. We aren't.
Let me ask you a question. How many East Indian women beat up their husbands?
A lot. By the way, in India, you know that they lead the world in domestic violence and sexual assault and stuff like that.
Okay. How many white women beat up their husbands?
A lot.
Numbers?
I don't know the numbers, but it's a lot.
All right.
Right? I think you know it's a lot.
I'll have it for you in a second.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do East Indian women get on TV and say they men ain't shit?
Who cares?
We do.
I don't care.
We do.
Whoa. I thought we was talking about black male leadership. I thought we was talking about black male leadership.
You changed the poll. You changed the poll when you said that East Indian women.
Ross is now talking about white women.
Tyrus. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question, Tyrus. Because for the last few weeks,
you lucky I like you, Tyrus.
Bro, hey, I'm cooking y'all tonight, bro.
Let me ask you a question, Tyrus. Let me go to everybody else. Let me ask you a question. JT had a point. JT had a valid point. How many, and I want you to answer just yes or no, nothing else, please, because we got to get to everybody else.
Yeah.
How many Indian, white, Asian podcasts do you see where black women are talking, emasculating their husbands or talking down on their husbands? Go. Yes or no?
Yes. White women in America specifically, there's a lot of them.
Name the podcast.
Isn't there that one podcast, them two Oklahoma white women? I know Payne know what I'm talking about because the conservatives hate that lady. There's like multiple podcasts. There's more and more. As a matter of fact, all the red pill guys be talking about these podcasts when they be trashing women.
So I'm talking about okay. So can you name five who emasculate their five black ones who emasculate their husbands? I bet every man on this panel can name five.
Black women that emasculate their husbands.
Yes.
I don't know one podcast that does that. Wait, what podcast? Like you can name 5 podcasts where these black women are trashing their husbands directly. Like, yo, my man ain't shit.
Trashing them or embarrassing them?
Boy, that is a vague embarrassment, boy. You see how that goalpost got moved?
No.
You see how that goalpost got moved?
Tyrus, listen, Tyrus. Listen. What I'm saying to you, Tyrus, is this. Tyrus, this is what I'm saying, Tyrus. I'm saying to you that in male leadership, if his woman is not respecting him, nobody else will. So what I'm saying, if your woman out embarrassing you in public or emasculating you in public, nobody else is going to respect you. Key point. Last week, we were talking about LeBron James' wife. Everybody used LeBron James and his wife, Savannah, as relationship goals. They've been together since middle school. She gets on the show and says, hey, I'm going to go to some strip clubs and I'm going to go see some women and slap some asses. And I'm going to go and play with some titties. And I'm like, girl, you could have said that off camera. Why do you have to say that? Or let's go to Steph Curry's wife, who a man came out with no shirt on and ripped up. She's taking her wedding ring off so she can dance with the man and say how hunky-dory he is. And then she says, I don't feel attractive because the only person who finds me attractive is my husband. No other man is trying to find me attractive. They don't talk to me. Michelle Obama. I couldn't stand Barack for 10 years. They say, well, you didn't want to give him a son? Absolutely not. I would not want to raise a Barack Obama. All you have to do is shut the fuck up and don't say nothing. If you're going to tell Barack you're not going to give him a child, say that shit off camera. Don't fuck up what people look up to you motherfuckers for relationship goals, and you're on the channel tomorrow. You didn't want to get his man a son? Because you didn't want to raise another Barack Obama?
BMU, JT, Lost, R-Pain. You four have known me the longest. And I've known you guys for quite some time.
Yes.
Would you say that at some point, all of us have probably put our foot in our mouths saying some reckless shit on this panel?
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah.
Is that a sign that men ain't shit?
No.
It's almost as if you talk long enough on stream or on a podcast, you're going to put your foot in your mouth. Holy shit, BM.
Tyrese,
Can I ask you a
Holy shit.
I got one more question for you, Tyrese. I got one more question. Tyrese, let's say your lovely wife, say when my wife started a podcast, right? My wife started a podcast, and your wife came on to support, and she was on the panel. And she said, your lovely wife said, yeah, you know, me and Tyrese have been together. He's lovely. He's a lovely man. He was in the military. He takes care of us. He makes sure we're good. We're safe. I feel safe in the home with him. And everything sounds so wonderful. And then right at the end, they start talking about relationships. She's like, you know what? I remember one time Tyrese got on top of me. Like the first 5 years of our marriage, like I couldn't even come. Like, I mean, I couldn't even bust a nut. But we got there. You would fucking be embarrassed.
Yeah, that's embarrassing as fuck.
Okay, so hold on. So DJ Envy's wife went on the Breakfast Club and told them for the first 10 years of their marriage, she couldn't even come. You emasculated the fuck out of this man in front of millions of fucking people when you could have kept that shit to your fucking self. She said she couldn't have an orgasm for 10 years with her husband. 10.
I agree with you, BM. There's certain shit you shouldn't say. You get what I mean? But and I don't want to say a but because it's not a tit. I want to be clear. It should never be a tit for tat thing.
Yeah.
But just like she shouldn't be embarrassing your man in public, lost in translation, wouldn't you agree that you probably shouldn't be embarrassing your wife by getting caught kissing other women in public?
Who did
sleeping
that?
With another woman in public?
Who did that?
Envy. They almost lost his marriage.
Listen, I'll answer your question when you answer my question. Who's supposed to honor the man in the household?
Whoever is in the household.
And why don't they do that?
Because it depends on if they deserve it or not. I answered your question already. You just don't like the answer.
So get our pain.
What makes them so fit to pass judgment on somebody who's supposed to be leading them?
That's determined by the household.
Where is their experience in leadership that gives them the right to judge somebody who's leading them?
The same reason why it gave them the right to marry him in the first place. Like seriously, what kind of these are like really ridiculous questions.
So in other words, he was good enough to be honored when you got married, but after that, he's no good anymore.
Yes, because just like we talk about, there's a lot of women you guys talk about all the time, which I agree with, women who will swap up the moment they get the ring on their finger. And let's stop pretending like dudes don't do the same shit. Like, come on, man. Like, what are these asinine questions, guys?
I appreciate you coming up on the post and coming up on the show. But
I appreciate it too, man. I didn't know I was gonna cook this well tonight.
Wow.
Hey man, but we gotta let people get in, dog.
My whole thing is this: you are a pro at slipping away from the questions, but I'm a
pro at answering questions that you don't like to hear.
Let me ask you the question: are children a good judge of character?
Bro, you got nothing but questions because you just don't like my answers. Can other people get in, please, bro?
This thing down
I honestly lost. I don't want to answer any more of your questions.
I know you don't because you can't.
No, I don't because you already proved you weren't listening the first time. Remember?
You can't.
Like BM, please, can somebody else get in?
You can't.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. We get R Payne in here, Coach Ferg, and Grant back in here too.
You could work back around to Tyrus. He ain't going nowhere. He's feeling good tonight.
Come on, nah,
he feels good as well tonight.
He really gonna act a fool tomorrow on the show tomorrow. R Payne R Payne should be able to cook your ass tomorrow.
Well, hold on for a second. But let me just say this. First of all, I was in bed and shit, okay? I was getting ready to go early to bed because I don't do that often. And I hear Tyrus, advocating for the transgenders and shit. And I said, what the fuck is going on this panel? And I said, I got to get up. I put my clothes back on and shit and all of that kind of stuff. I said, come on, Tyrus, what you doing? I don't want to go back there. You know what? I didn't disagree with what Tyrus said, answering some of Lawson's question about male leadership. Now, listen, we got to stop undercutting or what's the word? Not undercutting Black men. I think I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. Let me say it that way.
Yeah, that's what Law said. Devalue.
Yeah, I think in whole Black men are starting to come. That's why we have so much consternation on the other side. Because Black men are starting to recognize that our counterparts have placed themselves outside of the market. And some of them are not even worthy for an average man's love. An average Black, because I'm a married man. I know what I do to keep my marriage and my household and everything together. And the thing that makes that worthwhile is because my wife appreciates everything I do. We got a fucking whole cadre of women that don't appreciate men. And the way you could tell that men are starting to step up is because we're not accepting that shit anymore, right? The biggest rumor out there now is Dak Prescott told his fucking wife, who was a bartender, his fiance, I'm not marrying you without a prenup. I don't know how true that is, but usually men used to buckle and said, okay, I'm gonna marry you. No, I'm worth $300 million. You were serving fucking drinks. Having sex for chicken dinners and shit. Now you don't want to sign a prenup? Before, men used to just say, okay, I love you and all that other bullshit. It's a good sign. I think men are stepping up. It might be slower than some. Black men we had to take it out of the trenches over the last 60 years, getting our ass kicked continuously on every podcast. All our women, we ain't shit. And men are starting to say that shit's not true no more. It's not true. This male loneliness epidemic is a farce. It's really females are looking at are more lonely. That's why nobody goes to these fucking dating show things. So we got to give men more credit, man. I think we are stepping out. Maybe not fast enough for some. And do we have bad apples? Yeah. We got too many men who are on the liberal side. I don't know. Tyrus is an anomaly. You should come over to the dark side.
He's an antagonist. That's all.
I love
but
being
I'm
left.
just saying, usually liberal men are like really can be.
You're telling me we need to burn this motherfucker to the ground.
I don't have to say anything, but it was a good conversation. I'm kind of glad I got up. I didn't see the thumbnail for this. I didn't know we was having the show tonight.
Yeah, you on mute. I don't know why you talking on that microphone and you on mute.
Oh, Coach Berg. Yeah. We got Coach Berg in here, man. Coach Berg and Grant. We want to get the question
Grant? I didn't see you in a while.
To you guys as well, man. I have a question. Are the Black men the most disrespected? And what Law said, add that question on too. And why aren't Black men appreciated? Just the man that gets up every day and takes care of his friend. Why is I want to add this little tidbit in there because we talked about this, we laugh about it, but it's true. Why is it that on the Father's Day is the 35th, holiday on the list behind Columbus Day and Halloween? Fucking, we're the fucking 36 on holidays. So why is that? Why are we not appreciated? Why are the fathers not appreciated? Why are men are not appreciated? And why are we the most disrespected? Go ahead, Coach Ferg. Then Grant, you come right behind him. Pause.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll just answer those questions backwards. When it comes to the Father's Day, and I'm a father, and I'll say this to guys, man, fuck Father's Day, right? Treat yourself as a valuable, because it goes to the conversation. Treat yourself as a valuable man wherever you are. If you can wake up the next day and you go to work and you complete a hard day's work, you get your check, you done saved the money. Love yourself first. Love yourself first. Everybody else can wait for that shit. Everybody else can wait. And when it comes to disrespect, we see it throughout TV. Every platform today it's showing, because now we have our own women, our age group. And I get it. And I'll say this all the time. My favorite 1980s babies born, y'all always go have fat cheeks and run behind the women. Y'all women can fight. Y'all it's a lot of y'all. And listen, again, because what our pain was saying, brothers are starting to have the grow up moment a little bit more sooner than it was 25, 30 years ago. These younger brothers are saying, okay, we're being told out loud that we ain't shit, not only by our sisters who tell us that I'm not even worthy and we both work at Walmart, but the rest of the world. We get deleted the most. We don't get locked up. They're going to take you down if you're doing too much. I believe everybody should be able to get handcuffed and put in the paddy wagon. White boys do it all the time. They get to go. Indian men, I don't care about them. That's their women problem they got to deal with. But those women still work with them. Those women still make money with them, and they still don't shame them. Now, whatever they got going on physically, they're going to have to talk to Allah about it and see how it work out. And then we do it to ourselves, you know, and it's a group of men who sort of always going to fight. But I think brothers don't give themselves enough credit early and often. And Tyrus, I love the way, you know what I'm saying, the boys and coming up under y'all, they always they taking that 1% to 5 and 6%. They'll be a little more softer. They wearing tighter jeans. They ain't got no calf muscle. They all got, I remember a man used to have a chest. Now they got breasts at 20 and 30. I ain't talking about as you get older, they don't want to play sports no more. They ain't doing nothing to rough each other up and, you know, shoulder bump and do that little boy rough stuff. Now everybody hanging around the sisters. They wearing tiger print pants and shirts and all that. Only ones that really did that back in the day was like Prince and, you know, entertainers. Now they got it in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's in the streets. You see it at your cousin's house. Everybody got on leopard print. The boys and the girls, everybody. But, you know, it's just, yeah, we the most taken advantage of and the most, you know, hated on out loud.
All right, before Grant goes, I want to put this stat out there because I don't want to disrespect our Indian people. Okay. It says here, statistics show that about 0.1% of women initiate physical violence against their husbands.
So in other words, Tarus is a bald-faced liar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, you said women initiate?
No, yeah, it says here, statistics show about 0.1% of women, of Indian women initiated physical violence against their husbands.
Yeah, and my claim was Indian men beating up on Indian women.
Oh, let me get it. Hold on. Oh, but you can go ahead, Grant.
No. You said both. You said both. No. Loss was right. Loss was right, and you were wrong. You did say, you said it was a lot of them. You said,
yes, I said a lot of Indian men were beating up on Indian women. That
was another question.
Run the tape back.
That was another question.
No. I never made the claim that Indian women were beating up on Indian men. Bullshit. Run the tape back.
So let me say what I gotta say. When Law said, how many Indian women, Chinese women, he was saying all them white women. You said it was a lot. You said it was a lot of Indian women that beat up on that initiates DV. And you did say white people. You said it was a lot.
Yeah, no. I said it was a lot to the white women question, JT.
No, you said it was a lot to the Indian women too, because you said that was a
drag you again, JT. I said specifically there was a lot of white women. Yes, a lot of white women beating up on their white men. And then I went, but the South Asian men. I went specifically the East Indian women get beat up by their men a lot. That is a different conversation. Specifically what I said.
No, that was a different conversation.
If you're in the chat and you've been watching this, put a 1 in the chat.
How many times are you going to be wrong tonight?
Hold on.
How many times you want to be wrong tonight, JT?
I got the info for you, Tyrus. It says roughly about 2 out of 10 married women Indian women report domestic violence from their husbands. 2 out of 10.
So now think about what you just said. 2 out of 10 means statistically more Indian women are being beat up by their men than Indian women beating their men. Literally what I just said. What are you guys doing up here?
That is a lie.
What are we doing up here,
That
guys?
Is a lie.
What are we doing up here?
Hold on, Tyrus.
What are we doing up here?
Tyrus, I asked the audience that they hear you say it. Put a 1 in the chat, and look at these ones coming up. Grant, go ahead, Grant.
Yeah. So in India, they don't pray to Allah, by the way. To help you, Coach. But good to see you, Coach. Good to see you, well, I mean, obviously, I think if you look at it just from a cultural, structural problem, I do think African American men can be at a disadvantage socially. But I don't necessarily agree with loss in translation estimation that Black women are committing violence against Black men at a much higher rate. There's no evidence about it. You can broaden the examples and use more
I'll be right back.
Sort of subjective numbers, correct? Using things like videos or commentary, but that isn't hard data. And I think part of us having conversations about leadership and what it looks like and thinking through what the facts are, we want to be able to land on information that provides us with a path forward on how do we address issues within the community. And I'm not saying loss in translation was doing anything nefarious. I just don't think that there's data that backs up that claim. And although I think he's sincere in his belief and his estimations, I just don't think that there's any contemporary or multitude of data sets that would sort of back up that information. But I also think the conversations sort of delve into a world of saying men are we're disrespected, sure, or that if a woman says something about you, correct, if your spouse says something about you, but if that is a thing that sends you spinning out of control as a man, were you really in your own masculinity, correct? I mean, in essence, we're hyping up masculinity to be this thing, but then a woman comes along and just says 2 words like, yeah, I didn't like him that much for 10 years, and that should make you spiral as a man. That feels like those are 2 vastly different things. Either one, you can control yourself, you have a sense of yourself that no matter what someone says, you can manage yourself in an appropriate way. But if a woman or a man or whomever, or your child or your children have something disrespectful to say, you somehow spiral, that's more about you as a man, correct? That tells something about your emotional intelligence, your inability to manage your own way of thinking. And I think we need to address that up front, because if you want to be a leader, correct, as a fundamental idea of what leadership looks like, a leader must be able to manage their emotions, manage the things that are coming or hitting them, correct? And then when situations become very difficult, you have to be able, again, as the leader, be able to say, hey, here are the things I heard you say. I disagree with them, and these are the things I expect moving forward. And I think if you're unable to do that, maybe you aren't, not anyone in this panel, because I think the panel was people who I think command it. But I think for a broader group of people, if you're unable to do that, maybe you aren't suited, for what you perceive yourself as a leader, whether it be in the workplace, and then obviously within a family structure. And I think those are important details to keep hammering out when we have these conversations.
I appreciate that, man. I just want to, JT, did you want to add anything? Because I know you left for a little bit.
No, he can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get my man
100 watts.
100
100
watts
watts now. 100 watts. What's your thought?
I don't
To what I was speaking to earlier, just in terms of being soft boys, I don't think sexuality has anything to do with, I'm not going to say it has nothing to do with masculinity, but I'm not going to take away someone's masculinity because of their sexuality. What I was referring to when it comes to soft ass boys is I take my girl and my daughters, I take them to go get their nails done. And I'm seeing boys sitting in a chair next to their mama getting their nails done. That's soft as hell. I'm seeing boys that's walking through the mall holding their mama purse. That's soft as hell. It's a whole lot of soft shit that's happening. And all of those things will somehow in turn end up into presenting itself as an example of like a purple suit to go to prom, because the male leaders that are in their life are not around to say, hey, maybe this doesn't fit you, or hey, you're probably only doing this because you're seeing girls doing it. Like they're the male leadership that's around some of these soft ass boys is not doing their job. It don't have nothing to do with the fact that they're gay. In my opinion, if that's how he want to live his life, that's how he want to live his life. Because I know plenty of homosexual men that'll fuck you up if you disrespect them. They'll punch you right in your fucking mouth if you disrespect him. That don't mean that he's soft because he like another dude. However, some of that flamboyant shit that you see these dudes doing, that is soft. That does need to be changed. Like that, in terms of male leadership, that is some shit that kids are being enticed to do. The way that these kids are talking to each other in school and the way that the teachers are encouraging kids to express themselves and all of that shit that they doing in schools, it's not cool. It's not okay. And I'm not going to wait until it's 15% of the population before I finally decide to say, yo, cut this shit the fuck out. There has to be a point where we recognize that something is happening that's not cool, and we do what we can, of course, correct it. So in agreement with what Lost is talking about, like the household, there's a lot of people that don't get respected in his household. Sometimes I be having to lose my mind in my household because I'm in a house full of fucking females and they be trying to act like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Or I'm just being a mean old dad. I don't give a fuck. Sometimes I have to be an asshole to put my foot down in their house. And there are a lot of men that are in their house that don't have the ability to put their foot down because they was raised as a soft ass man.
100 Watt, I promise you it's gonna get better, bro. As the only dude in the house with 3 women, I promise you, bro, it's gonna get better.
It's not gonna get better. It's not gonna get better. It's gonna stay that way, bro. But I expect it to be that way. It's what I expect of it.
I had 6 women in my family. My father, and again, it's been a generations who grew up without a father in the house. And I was thinking, even the man that heard that had a strong male father, there's no way that he would have allowed you to get your fingernails painted and put on your mama's high heel shoes. He would have stomped that out of you. Not stomped it out of you. He would have ran. Hold up. He would have ran it out of you as a man. He wouldn't have had you outside over with the girls. You'd have had to go do some boy stuff. This is where we got into this allowing everybody to get a trophy. And now how are we going to say, well, when y'all grow up, y'all going to be men. Y'all gonna be providers and protectors. No, they're gonna be over in the hut with your sister talking about let me get your dress on. We gotta come on, man. This is I don't know. Why
I really wish my quarterback was Caleb Williams, and the biggest thing I had to worry about in the Browns was him painting his fingernails, because I take that division title. I take a really talented quarterback like him over the real masculine quarterbacks that has led us to like winless seasons and shit like that. That's just me though, guys. I don't really care about color, like purple shit. Like what's crazy, BM? Can you pull up? Because I absolutely asked my dad to dress like this. 100 Watt's gonna be pissed off. Can you pull up Cameron's fit of purple haze? You remember that? Like I think it was the old Dipset days. That Dipset, that purple. Begged my dad when I was in high school, Dad, let me get that. Let me take the Timberlands to the shop and get them purple Timberlands.
No,
them shits went hard.
They were pink.
Them shits went hard. But according to 100 Watt, man, because I was wearing that purple, that shit's gay.
No, it is when you get your nails painted.
That's not even what I said.
I know that's not what you say, bro. I'm just poking fun at you because I wanted to say why. Thank you for at least clarifying, by the way, that at least it's not a major part of masculinity with the sexuality. Because yeah, bro, we know some gay and some studs that will swing on you quick.
But when do we get to a point, guys? This is serious. When do we get to a point where we say what Coach Ferg just said? My son can't come to me and say, I want to be like Caleb and paint my fucking fingernails. I will fucking blow a gasket on his ass. You cannot tell me no shit like that,
if your son's Coach Ferg, if your son still likes women, still likes doing all the typical dude stuff, but the only thing he did wrong, Coach, he got drafted in the first round. Coach, you saying, man, I know my son did all that, but damn, he likes getting his nails painted.
Yeah, I would tell him.
Really, Coach.
Stop it.
I believe that I failed.
Men, man.
I failed along the way.
How did you fail? Your son is a success.
Hold on. See, because you got to compartmentalize real life and him playing football. On the football field, he can be the greatest, but in real life, again, if I'm having these and this is what I appreciate about my father, more I appreciate it. We had conversations on the regularly about a responsibility of a man, how you're going to present yourself in the world of men, right? Now, again, this new age stuff, this 1980s and above stuff, it became a lot more convoluted. Now we're getting an increase of men in their prime starting to acquiesce to the women and then complain about those women, but you're taking the role of a woman. How can I expect my son to go out because I look at it beyond, it's like beyond neighborhood. So, Tarus, I believe you would have, and I'll shut up. So is it okay for you?
Coach, please. Coach, don't shut up, please.
I'm sure some of y'all was in the military, some of y'all wasn't, right? It was a no ass, no tell, right?
Yeah.
And again, and today would you be alongside of everybody that had their fingernails painted and dresses on? Or would you want to keep it?
Coach, you know, I was in the military, and I can say I don't know because at least when I was in, I didn't have to deal with that. You know what I mean?
A better way of putting it, Coach Ferg, is when we go into formals, would you be cool with the men wearing the skirts with the motherfucking tights with the them stockings? Yeah, they was dressed like the women, and they got that the women's Garrison hat on. Would we be cool with the men wearing that? Would we be cool with them wearing the skirt? Would we be cool with the men out there wearing 2 earrings on each ear with fingernails painted and all that crazy ass shit that they allow the women? No. The problem is this: it's not just when you start doing the neglect. What do they call it? Benign neglect, and act like that shit doesn't exist and that shit is not growing. That's why it becomes a problem. It goes to what BMU was just saying about the COVID. If you had somebody that sat back and we was saying that this was happening. Remember, y'all, when the COVID shit first started, what did motherfuckers say? That shit is fake. It's staged. These motherfuckers is lying. They were saying all this shit. And then when you start seeing people dropping dead in your family, what happened? Oh, shit. Maybe this shit is real. You didn't know who to fucking believe. That's what we're saying now when we're starting to talk about men not becoming men. And it starts with those nuances that they have. These motherfuckers sitting here wearing goddamn hip hugger bell bottoms on now. These niggas is wearing all kind of crazy ass shit. Everybody got fucking tattoos. They don't even do makeup no more. These motherfuckers is putting tattoos on their face. These motherfuckers, and the problem is not the fact that they're wearing the clothes and all that shit. It's because they don't have any boundaries anymore. Everything is fucking fluid. And they're wondering why they keep having problems with women. Because one of the things that we never did was sit around with a bunch of women and gossip with them. What you see now, a bunch of men sitting around and gossiping. Another thing, and I'm going to end with this one. Our society already is over-sexualized, right? It's already, can we agree with that shit? It's over-sexualized. Now, when you start adding the whole fluid shit in there, it gets even worse. Look up the statistics on this shit, Tarus. HIV. Look up the herpes. I don't care. And I'm talking about when you look at it nationwide and you look at it in statewide, whatever, the shit is at an all-time high. Because one of the things I do understand, women still, whether they want to or not, they still follow men's lead. So when the man was sitting there calling women bitches, guess what ended up happening throughout the years? The women start calling themselves bitches. When the men start going out there being over-sexualizing women, guess what ended up happening? Women end up being over-sexualized. These are the conversations that we have to say. My thing is this. The problem I have with you is that you're saying that the shit it's a nominal amount, so we shouldn't have to care about it. I got a problem with that.
You know what? I want to add one more thing, JT. I think some of the visualization also matters, especially in the Army. Let's stick with that one. You know, let's just say we're in a really a dangerous situation where I got to send men possibly to their death. And I'm the leader, so I'm going to stand up in the front with a dress on and some fucking fingernails with my dick hanging out, you know, And I'm gonna tell these men, I'm gonna tell them to go and fight, and they're looking at me and saying, "Golly, man, they're right. There's something lost in translation when that shit's happening." You know? So I'm just saying it's good for men to just fucking be men, and we don't like to wear we don't wear fingernails and dresses, you know, and we just don't. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make the man can't fight. Listen, I wouldn't want to fight Saucy Santana. That motherfucker looks like he's crazy, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, but we can't normalize all of this shit. You know, we don't have to come out and be real belligerent. Let people live their own lives. But this shit's spreading. It's spreading. It's like a fucking virus.
Grant, you're straight too, right? Grant, you're straight too, right, bro? Is your nails painted?
Listen,
are your nails painted?
Cruz, before we do that,
hey, did anybody? My nails aren't magically getting painted right now. Like, I've been alive on this earth for 38 years, and I've been married or going on 18, and not one time have I been forced to wear a dress, paint my nails, carry my mom's purse. I ain't been forced to do none of this shit y'all talking about.
Okay, though.
Black man, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead,
Before
sir.
we start bloviating, man.
Listen,
earlier I was called to the carpet, and when I say stuff, I got proof to back it up. Okay, and my thing is this: that's one of the things that we're gonna have to stop doing is stop sweeping stuff under the rug and start pulling facts out where it needs to be pulled. We pulled the power of AI, and it said when we mentioned about black men being the perpetrators or being violated against the most. And I think a lot of times we like to sweep stuff under the rug. Well, let's see what the internet has to say. It says prevalence victimized, according to the CDC data, approximately 40% of black men experience physical violence, sexual violence, and stalking by an intimate partner. Types of abuse. Black men have experienced various forms of abuse, with 56.1% reported psychological aggression, such as humiliation, name calling, or by intimate partner. Perpetrators. Among male victims of intimate partners violence, a high percentage of named female partners as the perpetrators. Reporting and barriers. Black men often face unique barriers of seeking help, including stigma and a need to conform to societal expectations of masculinity, which may lead to underreporting. Also, it says contextual factors. Research suggests that high rates of IPV in Black communities are often linked to structural factors, including poverty, economic stress, and systematic racism. So when I said what I said, I meant it. And I thought I'd go ahead and pull this up as facts on what's going on. Last time I checked, 56% is more than half the numbers. So when I said more, that's what I mean by more. Black Man Unfiltered, you have the floor.
That's impressive. I would just say I wasn't critiquing whether or not that the evidence that black men were more likely to be abused. Matter of fact, black women are 62% more likely to abuse their spouse or their mate or their partner than white women. So I agree with you on that premise. What I was disagreeing with you is whether or not there's a disparity between black men and their abuse towards black women versus black women to black men. I think we know that the stats do show that. I don't disagree with you on the merits of black men are experiencing these things. What I'm just disagreeing is whether or not there's an overwhelming evidence that says black men in this particular case statistically are being harmed at a higher percentage or higher rate than black.
Well, here's a key point about that, Grant. You said likely. Likely doesn't mean it happened. It just means it's a probability.
When we talk about likelihood, I'm saying that
the numbers. The numbers that I show are actual numbers that actually happen, not likely. So my whole thing is that you're likely to run into more black people in your own neighborhood if your neighborhood is black. You see what I'm saying? My whole thing is this: we have to stop using words as if they're true when they're not. What I did was I used actual proof versus the word likely in this particular situation, so we can actually start to address the issue at hand, which is what I stated earlier before: the behavior of others towards black men which is the main reason, which was the whole premise of this whole conversation about black male leadership and why we're always being called on the carpet when everybody else are the actual perpetrators. That's the main reason why I brought up this point. For scholarship purposes.
So using likely as your example, I appreciate you sharing that. So you were right. You are more likely to see more a black person in a predominantly black or African American community than you would in a predominantly non-African American community. We realize that the likelihood of something is based on the percentages of groups within that. And so we use that just when we talk about stats. We're saying that given an X number of outcomes, or if you run a simulation, a likelihood of something happening, it's going to have a higher probability of happening. So we use words like likelihood or probability. So yes, it is more likely, given the statistics, that black women are more likely to experience some domestic violence in black men. That doesn't demean the fact that both groups are experiencing something we call domestic violence. Now, the thing that we can look at on the data that you provided, or at least the synopsis you provided, correct, is that the most important factor there is both economic, the social factors, things that both parties are experiencing, that if we address what the underlying problems are, more like it's going to be poverty, it's going to be their educational levels, it's going to be a whole host of things, that those things are going to have the most likely thing that's going to cause the kind of domestic violence you see, especially in low income areas. And that's what we should be talking about.
Well, Grant, here's my thing. Black folks aren't the only ones who experience poverty. I would subscribe to that, but there are poor white people and there are poor everybody else too. So my whole thing is what makes our particular situation so susceptible to being the black man, being what we stated earlier, being the more disrespected man out of all the groups. And I think it goes back to what I said earlier. What is it in our community that causes our people to inherently disrespect the men, according from the men, the women, the children, the men versus men? Why is it that the men are always the ones being pointed at versus everybody else saying, hey, look, they may be the ones that are getting pointed at, but the rest of them are not getting in line. Even behind the ones who are so-called doing the right thing to do, they're not listening to them either. So when we point the fingers and say, hey, what about those guys who are beating women? Well, what about those guys who are actually in church, leading communities, feeding the poor, and taking care of the hungry and the widows? Why aren't they following those men? And that leads me back to my other question before. Who is qualified to say that one particular man should be held to a standard or should be saying question his leadership? And that's my whole thing. When are we going to get beyond that and start addressing the issue at hand, which is the community as a whole, and not just pointing the finger at the men?
Well, respectfully, Lost, Grant literally just told you how we address those things. You see what I mean? Like Grant literally just laid out everything, or one of the major things we got to do. Because Lost, guess what? And when you look up the statistics of our white counterparts, the lower their income and poverty level, the higher their domestic violence rate goes up. It's almost as if poverty correlates with a lot of shit in our society. And it's a universal trend. So, and you know this, Lost, traditionally, historically in our country, we are always disproportionately going to be affected by those sort of statistics. That doesn't mean we're the only ones. It means we're disproportionately, right? And so Grant literally laid out statistically a bunch of different things we could do to address the problem. You just don't want to hear it.
He did not. Because the one thing that's most important that those risk factors did not mention at all was the father being in the home, the lack of the father, the lack of the child's natural born father. And even the statistics show that it's almost like if you look at those statistics, at least it's still letting you know most niggas ain't getting no coochie. They having babies by a small number of men over and over. And brother, and that, most brothers ain't out here. Now, you look at age, about 40, most people want to have a child. That's just natural. I want to have my child. It happens but most brothers are, even now, they can even say it out loud. They're moving away from that shit. They're not running behind these women just to pay to play. It's a whole different train out there. I don't know what type of man y'all raising. If you got a son, and I'm guaranteed, and we had this conversation that the ones that can teach their son to not chase the women are having to fight the women off. It's not the same anymore. And most brothers are not out here doing what it used to be when y'all was young, trying to get a woman that didn't like you. And I'm always being facetious. When we were ugly, see, it's a different age of man. And I think people just don't do, because the lack of father. And then let me tell you something. I worked in the inner city of Chicago, right? Regardless of poverty, because they say we ain't never had no money, but we made it happen. It's the lack of the father that balances that male out when he come through that puberty stage. Most of y'all, if you didn't grow up with a father, you might have a different view because mama done drilled in your head. But if you have a father, he balances everything out in that house. If he's focused on family. And that's what we got away from. My father was focused on the family first. But we don't have that. We don't have it as highlighted as much.
Respectfully,
but we have it a great deal.
Coach Ferg, respectfully, something tells me if we went and looked up if there's a correlation between economic stability and household stability, there'd be a lot of overlap there. Right? And it's so funny because as somebody who also grew up with a father, with a black father, thank God. You wanted to know one of the things I noticed, Coach Ferg, and here in Cleveland, Ohio, in the inner city, the biggest difference was the fact that I had a dad who was focused on economic stability, and a lot of my friends had dads. Their dads weren't around because it was economically unstable. Because they dads was constantly chasing the bag. Coach Ferg, you know so many kids, unfortunately, who gotta go out here and freaking get jobs, even in high school, because they gotta be part of the breadwinners. They gotta be one of, and part of that is economic instability, amongst a bunch of other reasons. And so again, it's not the only reason, but it's part of the reason, Coach.
So this is another thing. I believe that we are building a different society, right? Because we can go back and talk about everything that when we were kids growing up and things with a father in the home and things like that. It's not as relevant now because the majority of people don't know anything about that. The balance of the father being in the home type of thing, right? Because every time we would bring it up on a lot of panels, what would they say? Well, there was a lot of women that you know, their kids turned out okay because the father wasn't there. It's kind of like they try to erase that is a real major problem. The father, this is what I see. Even when you have a father in the home nowadays, like for instance, a father that is in his 30s, 30, 31, 32, that may not be a factor anymore. Let me explain. Because that father probably didn't have his father in his home, and he had the influence of the women in his house. So when he goes and get his own family, he end up being more of a lesbian type of relationship. He looks at himself as a partner. He's not the man that sits back and say, my word is final. Her word is everything and final now. And he's just like the children following her word. And then when she gets fed up with having this man, whether he works or he does not work, she says, I don't want this anymore. She did it regardless of what her circumstances is. If it gets to a point where she says she's fed up, then she's the one to say, let me pull the trigger because this shit, I ain't having it no more. And guess what he got to do? He got to eat that bullet. That's where I'm seeing it. In their 30s. That's not, so even when we saying having a father in the home is important, it's starting not to be true anymore. Because most of these men are going in these relationships as partners.
So if we took this step forward, JT and everybody else, right? What is Gen Z and Gen Alpha supposed to do if they don't have the requisite background to move us forward? How do they make the decisions in the future? You know, I'm not saying they need to dwell on the past, but what would we suggest for them to do? I mean, we already see that there's this thing called a Gen Z stare and shit, whether that's fun, fake or not, that's just internet shit. But they're losing jobs quickly because they don't have some requisite shit when they start getting jobs out of college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if that statistic, how deep that statistic is, but I think it is a thing, you know? And so how do they build families? How do they have the wherewithal to stick out shit like, you know what, man, I got a hangnail, so I want a divorce. You know, that kind of stuff. I mean, where are they gonna get it from? Or let's just say old fucking guys like me, right? You know, there's a deficit for me saying anything to the young people because shit, you're on the other side. So fuck you, right? You're old. You don't know what's happening. It's different now. Human nature is so different now that everything that you learned is worthless. Right? There's a lot of people who say that.
But
guys, I think everybody here can agree. It's a lot easier to sustain a social life when you aren't broke as hell. Well, you can actually afford to go out with your friends.
Let's use that thread though.
Here's my thing: if everybody's broke,
like
if everybody's true enough, if everybody's broke, then why is it ours is 70% of our people not being married when everybody else has the same level brokenness across the table?
Well, loss is because it's not one thing. Loss is not one thing. There's so many factors that go into it. And
those factors? Can we address those factors instead of just saying it's so many factors?
Well, I'm trying, bro. Trying.
No, you're not.
If you let me. If you let me.
No, you're not.
If you let me. Economic one. Pick one.
Pick one.
Okay, I'll pick one. Our education is trash.
They go to the same school our kids go to. Next question.
Oh, you don't like the answer?
No, the same poor kids go to the same schools.
No, I'm saying like what we need. You want a solution, right? I'm not trying to tell you the problem. Do you want the solution?
I'm just done with the excuses, bro.
Just give us 3 solutions, Terry. Can you give 3? Education is messed up.
Will y'all fucking let me give you the solution?
Yes, sir.
Ah, dang. So we, as anybody who got kids, we know right now the future is AI, whether we like it or not. Mr. Bennett already talked about it yesterday. Y'all know I've been screaming into the ether about it for years now. We know that's the future, whether we like it or not. So it's imperative on us to push our kids into that situation. The reason why it's imperative is because we need to push our kids into career fields that is most likely going to provide some sort of economic stability. Why? Economic stability is the best way to maintain a social life, maintain your household, maintain affordability. There's so many factors that go into that, right? Another thing we got to do is start making third spaces affordable. Right now, this country is so big, never mind the fact that our public transportation is almost non-existent as far as 80% of the country, but third spaces are next to none. We already know that historically there's always been not enough places for teenagers to go, but now even for young people, it's too expensive to go out. So now, guess what, guys? Going to Payne because he's talking about some of the things that's rising. Payne probably heard about this. Gen Z ain't even doing house parties anymore.
What?
Right? And so everything is becoming too unaffordable to live. Right now, everybody is on survivability. So the solution is to make things affordable. Coach, guess what? You can keep shaking your head. Women or men don't want to be in a relationship when they can't do shit because they're broke.
Tyrese, before I say something, how old are you, man?
I'm 38.
Okay, then I dismiss every.
No, coach, no, because you was gonna try it. I'm 38 years old.
No,
coach, stop. I'm 38 years old. I was in the military 8 years, active duty, 2 deployments, 27 months total in Iraq. I've been married for this April, going 18 years. I have 2 daughters, 17 and 15. Do you need anything else?
No, that's great, man.
Okay.
I was just talking. Listen, I applaud you for that, right? I wish we can get more light-skinned brothers like you to get married.
I need more black men, regardless of
hold on. Listen. And I'll just say light-skinned because obviously I'm light-skinned too. Been here all my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's out of love, man. I like that brother like you. The problem is y'all need, and when I say you, I'm just saying everybody in your peer group, your genre, y'all niggas in the way of the young folk. Y'all in the way. Everything about y'all is a victim. The men's ain't doing nothing. The women's ain't doing nothing. Y'all in the way of the young folk. And that's why I say, brothers, every brother up on top of me done heard me to say, man, go to the young folk. Go to them young brothers. Everybody up here. Because I listen to what they say, and they are not about quitting. They ain't about blaming. They ain't about being a victim. They ain't about letting the dude with the dress on read to your son in school. They ain't about your woman showing your breasts and your tatas. They're about getting the job done. And you talk about solutions, and this is why I say, right? Because this is not going to be an easy fix. Because y'all victim 40-somethings, 35 and 40 and under, y'all victims. It's everybody's fault but your own. And I agree with the opportunity of education. It needs to go to a more futuristic style. But we in America. And I'll say this with the Gen Zs and Alphas, they're going to have to get away from Democrat and Republic. They're going to have to form a whole new way, and because they already in their own lane, but they're going to have to sort of find some leadership. Because if we letting everybody show up with the painted nails and the blouses, they ain't going to be looking to say, let's organize. They just going to be looking to play around. You know, what life is about, organization, having the real, making things and showing what we can do with what I have. A lot of time we gatekeep the information, but we got to start at least allowing them to learn and fail along the way. Because there's a whole lot of niggas who just found out who they were at 38, 40 on YouTube. When I think the younger people got an opportunity to leapfrog that over the next 20 years. I agree. But niggas
you want to know.
You still got to learn how to do math and read, and you still got to learn that shit.
Coach, think about all what's crazy is your generation had the programs back in your day. You guys never bring it up. It takes millennials like me to bring it up. And you know what? One of the great things that you guys used to have back in the day, Coach, you guys had shop classes in high school. You actually had those blue collar type of programs that kid could get into apprenticeships as young as 16. Coach, the majority of the country, we ain't got that. I graduated high school in 05. We ain't had that in my high school, Coach.
That's why we have to have a balance, though, Tyrus and Coach. We have to have a balance. That's why I said when I said that we are creating a era right now, and we have no idea. And I'm talking about the society itself that we've never experienced before. This is where I'm saying that the problems we have, because this is what I'm thinking. When I'm hearing everybody talk, the world is shifting. You got group of peoples that are doing better. You have a group of people that are not, and then you have stagnated groups of people, right? What I'm saying is that all of it exists. I mean, all of it is important, especially the community building part. Where I see us being in a huge deficit is that everything is separate now, right? Families are not conjoining with families anymore. You got a bunch of fucking strangers having babies and having short-term relationships with each other. They're causing each other a lot of strife. It's a lot of shit that's going on. So now we have Generation Alpha. They're looking at it as being kids growing up. They're saying, I'm not dealing with none of this shit. They don't want to have relationships. They ain't trying to have sex. They're going to have sex with they're going to be dealing with more and more porn. And if they're going to be robots out, they're going to use that shit. They don't know how to talk to each other. The majority of them are going to be awkward, right? Like one of the things we talk about is when it comes down to being in relationships, you have to take, whether you're a woman or man, you got to take some type of initiative to even let that person know that you like them. Whether they approached you or whether you're in the relationship, somebody has to take the initiative, and it has to have what they call that. And I hate using this word, but I got to use it. Reciprocity, right? So you have to have it in the relationship. They can't even get to the relationship part anymore, because they're scared to talk to one another. And once they talk to one another, they don't even know how to communicate with each other anymore. So we're creating, and that's what I mean by we're creating that society. There's not and I'm going to just be honest, from what I see, because we're just going to keep trying. But what I'm saying is this: there's not a solution yet. And sometimes you got to let some shit implode and explode before you start fixing it. Because what's going to fix it is people that's willing to fix it. Communities that's saying, man, this is fucked up. We got it. It's always been like that. In every era, something was fucked up, and motherfuckers say we got to fix it on every level. I can tell you right now, I don't know what the fuck to do when it comes down to trying to fix something.
You made a statement,
JT finally started cooking tonight.
When we use terms like fix it, right? We use terms like fix it. There might not be one solution to all this. We got to look at the reality that we're in, right? We have all generations still alive, right? From baby boomers down to Alfred. We're all sharing the same space. We all have different things. So how does the solution, there's not the solution. There's maybe many solutions, and there's not one size fits all, but there's got to be some normalcy somewhere that propels us forward, where it's the best fit through all of the different things that we go through. We got class divide, we got race divide, we got age divide, we got political divide, ideology divide. So how do you, so there's no one solution to all of that. So how do you best move forward so the society as a whole, especially America, since we're never going to be homogenous as a population. And there was some point where I thought we dealt with this better than we're dealing with it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not a sporting event that brings us together. It's got to be something more than those shared things. Like, it can't be a war that brings us together. It's got to be something else that we all share from our point of view that makes America something worth saving and makes it worth building a society around. And that's the thing I think we're having trouble with. And, and the fact that women are deciding that they don't want to have kids, some of them aren't, or they don't want to, or if they want to have kids, they don't want to have marriage to go along with it. And then men have their own fear of divorce and not necessarily marriage. It's just a whole lot of different factors going on, which makes it makes it an interesting life. But what stops people from retreating to their own bubble so they can survive?
And I got the answer, man. In most businesses, how most businesses are successful is they operate vertically. I think that's our problem. And I think we need to use that as an example of how we fix our community. We need to use it vertically. Okay. We need to start respecting our elders like we used to, and use the wisdom of the people that's in your direct line of chain of command, and you respect those that belong to you. You see what I'm saying? We got far too many people who want to delve outside of where they're supposed to be or where they come from to listen to other people's junk, instead of listening to the people that's directly responsible for you. When we start respecting elders, then the people that's behind the people that's supposed to be respecting the elders will get respected, and they'll listen. It's all about getting vertical, man. But until we actually start respecting those who are in leadership, then we're not going to have the answers that we're looking for. It's the basic stuff that we need to work on, respecting your elders. And I think that's the issue that we have right now. We got too many people telling the old folks, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, they didn't get old for being stupid. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the issue that we have right now. We got too many young people with no experience telling older people they don't know what they're talking about. And to me, that's crazy. How are you going to take somebody who has no experience and tell somebody who has all the experience they don't know what they're talking about? That's the problem. That's the issue. We fix that, we'll fix our community.
All right. Anybody else got anything? Grant? Coach?
I was cooking. Tyrus, before we end the show, tell everybody what you're talking about tomorrow.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm going to be talking about tomorrow fake patriotism. We have a lot of people who I used to think maybe were just well-meaning, but a little bit naive to what, patriotism really is versus, what nationalism is. But now I need to start calling out the intentional displays of fake patriotism and how that's starting to lead to real bloodshed. Yeah, you guys can catch me tomorrow at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, right here on Black Man Unfiltered.
All right, man. So that's battle-tested truth with Tyrus, man, on tomorrow night right here on this network, man. We'll see him tomorrow. Last week, they pissed him off pretty bad. They ran my boy hot last week, man. Ran him hot. But Grant, it'd be good to have you come in and support him on that show tomorrow, man, because I know you guys can really have a good conversation on that. Our Pain as well. Our Pain was about to come cook you last week, but he was in the bed asleep.
No, he had that damn.
Hey, I know I can wake up our pain now.
He got that.
Once he got that robe, butt naked up under that robe, he ain't getting out. He done took them boxes off. He was like, I was about to do it.
I wouldn't even say
once that fitted sheet went up to crack that ass, he was gone.
I think he wear them old school boxes too. He wear them old school boxes, you know.
Hey, so also I want to shout out my boy Lost in Translation, man. He got some music coming out. Lost in Translation, tell the people about the music, my guy.
Listen, I got a new album that's coming out. The single releases this Friday. I got 2 of those releasing this Friday, and the whole album releases on next Friday. The entire album is called the Major Soul Project. I got an AI artist I call Indigo Major. And I got 15 songs that are pretty good to start off. And I got some other characters I'm working. So I'm building a whole entire universe of people, of singers that tell stories that actually build communities versus tear people apart. We discuss emotions. We discuss different situations, scenarios, how to handle situations better. So instead of having 2 and 3 hour podcasts, I can squeeze it in about 3 to 4 minutes so people can take it with them and they can learn how to be better people. So that's what I'm releasing. It can be found on Apple Music, Spotify, and all those other places where you have good music. So I appreciate you, Black Man Unfiltered, for spotting that out. Thank you, sir.
For sure.
Absolutely. You know, we got to support.
Hell yeah, Lost.
Dope, for real.
Yeah. And I can't wait to, for JT to get in his rotation, man. Because I definitely had a disagreement with my boy last week when I told him it was over for 50 Cent. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, you about to be proven so wrong. So wrong.
T.I. done cooked him, but we'll see.
We'll talk about it.
I'm gonna say this before we go. I think that when T.I. got the video team together and sat at the dinner table with his wife, all of his children, his grandchildren, and his mother, it was over.
You must didn't see that. This is when it's over. When that nigga got him and his son to go over there and do a tour, an apology tour. I don't want no smoke tour coming to everybody in a theater near you. It's over with.
Now, I did see the picture of 50 Cent's son, and what's T.I.'s son name?
King.
Was it King? King and 50 Cent's son together was sitting in the studio taking pictures.
Coach.
That's AI. That's AI, man. That was AI. It ain't AI when he was on it. Look, it wasn't AI when he was on that radio station talking about some. No, it's just all about verses. And then he called the son up. Tell him, son, you done with it? Yeah, I'm done with it. Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Hey, look, we gonna go in depth on it because I've been doing a little research on it. The thing is though, Black Man, you gotta sift through the goddamn AI shit. That shit is crazy. That AI shit is wild, bro. Yeah. So that was.
You know what? Speaking of AI, R-Pain wrote a song. I want to give R-Pain a shout out too. R-Pain wrote a song about "This Is Your Baby." I want you to know that I wrote the counter to that song. And it's called "That's Not My Baby. That's Tyrone's Baby."
I gotta hear that
shit on the
podcast. That's funny, man.
R-Pain had come a long way. Because when he first started with that AI music, that shit was straight funeral home music. And I was like, but now he'd come a long fucking way, boy. God damn. Shout out to everybody that's doing something great, man. I appreciate you, Grant, man. If you want to come by tomorrow, man, Tyrone's going to be cooking tomorrow in his political sector. Coach Ferg, man, thank you for being here. JT, R-Pain, y'all go check out the music from Lost in Translation. And we'll see you guys, man, on tomorrow, man. Hey, we're going to keep cooking. Peace.
Yeah. Chest thumping, boom like a baseline pound. King Kong stepping, make the whole earth bow. Banana clip bars, peel the truth, spit it raw. Silverback stature, no cap in my jaw. Swinging through the jungle vines like a